This prison story is about when my homeboy Terry got violated in the prison shower. Now, I didn't want to tell the story at all. I actually had this story, put away, and I said I would never tell the story, for out of respect for Terry and, his family or whatever. But I think it's time, because there's a lesson in what happened to him. Now, Terry is not his real name, obviously, but his people know what happened to him, because whenever somebody get assaulted like that in prison, the administration have to call your family and let them know like what happened to you, whatever. So I guess let's get to the story. But before we do, I'm sorry I have to do this, because a lot of you guys, y'all be so captivated in the story that y'all forget to do the minimum that you must do when you come to listen to the story. Number one, you got to hit the like button. That's mandatory. Number two, you have to let me know where you from in the comment section, okay? I don't care if you are in Spain. I don't care if you are in Asia. I don't care if you in Africa. I don't care if you in South America, North America. Let me know where you from in the comment section, all right? Now let's get to the story. So I'm in the prison library, and I'm like, okay, I got 10 years. And right now, y'all, I'm in my second year in my bid. So I'm like, okay, I need to get out of prison. I'm tired of being around all these dudes. I'm tired of the gossiping. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the arguing. I'm tired of the military mind games. I got to get out of here. I just got to go. Right? So I told myself, like, you know what? The only way I'm going to get out of here is I got to get my own self out of here. There's got to be some type of loophole, something that I missed, something that the lawyer missed. You understand? So I said, you know what? I'm going to the prison library. So I'm in there and I'm reading the laws and everything. And I don't know what I'm actually looking for. But hey, I ain't got nothing but time, right? So I'm in there and I'm reading books or whatever. So, library time is the library is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., right? And on the weekend, well, Saturday and Sunday is open from 9 a.m. to, I believe, 6 p.m., give or take. I ain't been locked up in 11 years, so. But anyway, so I'm in there, and this dude come in there, right? Terry come in there. And he's looking at me. Now, at this time, y'all, when you walk into the library, you go through the door, right? And then you got the tables right here. And then you got the books all the way to the back, on the back wall, and there's some aisles right there. So I'm over here sitting on the right side of the table, right? So I see him at the door. Now, check this out, y'all. In prison, you never have your guard down, especially, in places like the library, the kitchen, on the yard, going to the yard, in the hallways, because you never know who's waiting on you. You never know who got an issue and just ready to pounce on you, right? So I see him standing there right in the doorway. So I'm looking like, man, who is this dude? Because he don't look familiar at all. I done been in here for about 2 years already, about 700 days now. So I pretty much can pinpoint who was who, off their body frame or whatever. But I couldn't get, zero in on his face, right? So as he started walking closer, I, started gripping. I had my thing right there on the side of my thigh. So I slowly started putting my hand in my pants to, grab that sword of justice. But as he got closer, I seen his face. I said, oh, Terry, right? That ain't his real name, but I called him Terry. I said, Terry? He said, man, Dante, hey, man, I thought that was you, man. I said, I got up and I started walking towards him, and we met in the middle. We dapped each other up. He said, yeah, man, I just seen Al and them on the yard, man. I see them like, man, Dante, I heard Dante was there. They was like, yeah, he over there at the library, man. Right? So, see, Terry was from my neighborhood, too, right there in Wesley Hood, Flint, Michigan, off of North Saginaw and Edmond Street. That's the street we grew up on, right? Shout out to Flint, Michigan. So, we talking or whatever, and I'm like, man, what's up, man? When did you get here? He was like, man, I've been here for about 3 days, man. I was in processing for 3 days, but shoot, I'm here. I said, oh, yeah. I said, man, what you do? How did you get up in here, dog? He was like, man, it's a long story. I said, man, take a seat, man. We got all day. What's up? He was like, hey, let's get out of here, man. Let's go walk the yard, man. I've been in processing and these things. Let's get out of here. I don't like want to go outside. I said, all right, let's go. We out. Right? So bam, we go hit the yard, right? We walking the track, right? So I'm like, so what happened, dog? He was like, well, long story short, he met this chick, right, at the strip club. And he said that, this chick was bad, like bad, like bad. And he was like, he just made it up in his mind that he fell in love with her. Like, this gonna be my wife. And I know y'all gonna be like, man, Terry went out bad. He went to the strip club and said this chick gonna be his wife. Hey, to each their own, man. You never know, man. I mean, he's a human, she's a human. People can change, But anyway, he said he made up in his mind this is gonna be his wife. So, he said that he sat there and he was thinking like, man, how do I approach her? I don't want her thinking that, I'm a John, I'm a trick, because I know she's going to treat me like a trick. So how should I do this? How should I go about it? So he said that he just said, you know what? I'm not even going to approach her. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to even let her see me to know that I'm in here. Right? So basically, he said he started stalking her. Now, listen, I know y'all going to be like, yo, Dante, man, your homeboy Terry was stalking this chick. I guess that's what he had to do to get her. You know what I'm saying? So he said that he left out the club and he went to go sit in his truck, right? He said the club let out around 2 o'clock in the morning. So when she finally left out, she got in her car and she started leaving. She drove. So he said he cut on his car. He started tailing her. And she pulled up into this apartment complex that was right down the street from his house. So he said when she pulled into her spot, he just drove past her car, right? Whatever. So he's like, okay, bet. This was where she must stay at or whatever. So after that, he was like, he'd go to the club. Sometimes she'd be there. Sometimes she wouldn't be there. So then he said one day he actually went out there where she stayed at. And when she got in the car, he followed her to Walmart. So he said, okay, this is my chance. This is my opportunity. Now I ain't got to meet her in a place where, you know what I'm talking about, where she had judged me as being a trick or a John or whatever. So he said he pulled up on her. And, they end up walking down the same aisle. And he stopped her. He was like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, I'm okay. And he was like, I ain't gonna lie. You are gorgeous. And I know you get this all the time, but and I'm almost sure that you got a man because you just look that good. I know that but listen, I just want to be a part of your life in some way, somehow, okay? I'm not playing no games with you. I just want to be a part of your, if you want me to be in a friend zone forever, I'm willing to do that, okay? So she was like, well, first of all, I ain't got no man. And second of all, you trying too hard. You seem cool, you cute, whatever. And he was like, for real? She was like, yeah. He was like, well, can I call you or whatever? And she was like, nah, I don't really get my number out, but I tell you what, I'll call you. So he was like, listen, just tell me if you ain't gonna call, because I'm telling you, I'm really digging you. And if you don't call, man, just don't have me wondering, you know what I'm saying? She was like, listen, I don't play games. That's one thing I don't do. I don't play games at all. If I say I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna call you. So he was like, all right, this is my number right here. So he gave her the number, and then she was like, all right. So he stopped when she walked off, and he said, hey, I'm not trying to press you. I'm not, but I promise to God, listen, just in case if you don't call me, can I get a hug? And she was like, what? He was like, yeah, can I just get a hug, man? Because if you don't call, man, I ain't trying to sound desperate, but I'm just saying, man. She was like, I guess so, I guess. So he gave her a hug, and of course his hand gripped the ass. And she was like, boy, you better stop. And he was like, what? So she was like, hey, so he was like, just call me, man. So she said, all right, whatever. So he walked off. So he said that he got back in his car, and he got to drive her home, and he said he just felt real ecstatic, like, man, I can't believe this, man. So he said about an hour go by, and his phone ring, and it's her. And she said, is this Terry? He like, yeah, this Terry. Who is this? And she was like, oh, so you got all type of girls calling your phone? He like, no, man. Who is this? And he was like, if you don't know who this is, he's like, oh, this you from Walmart. She was like, yeah, duh. Then he was like, oh no, man. Yeah, what's going on? She was like, I told you I was gonna call you. So he was like, I bet, right? So he was like, what you doing today? And she was like, nothing really. Just chilling at the house. He was like, you want to go out? And she was like, go where? He was like, shoot, I don't know, get some ice cream, or she was like, ice cream? He was like, yeah, we can go on a walk or something, or we can go out to eat or something. She was like, you know what? I ain't been on a walk in a minute. Yeah, we can go for a walk. Let's go. So he was like, as I'm picking you up, or she was like, yeah, I guess you could pick me up. So she gave him the address, right? So he said that when she gave him the address, it was the address of the apartment that he went to, right? So he said when he pulled up there, he called and was like, hey, I'm outside. She was like, well, come upstairs. He was like, okay. So he get out the car, he go up the stairs, right? And she answered the door with no clothes on at all. So it kind of took him back, like, what? And she was like, you act like you ain't never seen no ASS and TITTIES. And he was like, no, it ain't that. You just kind of threw me off or whatever. So she was like, well, here, come in my room right quick. So she come to the room and she said, okay, you want to hit this? And he was like, whoa, hold on, man. You wait a minute. She was like, okay, what's up? What? Then he was like, wait, hold on. And she was like, do you want this or not? He was like, hell yeah, I do. So, he said he took his shirt off and he, went in there spread eagle style, right? So he said, he was laying there, and she was like, okay, that'll be $200. And he said, what? Then she was like, yes, $200. Then he was like, wait, hold on, man. This ain't that. She was like, dude, you think I'm stupid? You don't think that I know who you are? I done seen you at the club a couple times already. You think? He said, no, hold up. You got that all wrong. I'm not no trick. And she was like, listen, you better give me my money. And he said, look, hold up. I really like you. She was like, okay, yeah, I heard it all or whatever, man. Just give me my money, whatever. And he was like, all right, here you go. Now he said he kind of get irritated. So he give her the money. Then she was like, okay, you can leave now. Then he like, hey, listen, wait, time out. Can we talk? And she was like, listen, my time is money. And he was like, all right, listen, I'm going to give you $100, right? What can I get for $100? She was like, to most sex? He was like, no, I just want to talk to you. And she was like, well, what you want to talk to me about? What, you a pimp or something? He was like, no, man, just listen, man. Here's $100 here. So he said, listen, yeah, I was at the club. And I seen you. And yeah, but I like you. And she was like, yeah, it's a whole bunch of men. He said, no, it ain't about me lusting. I really like you. And I wanna be your man. Not no pimp, none of that stupid shit. I wanna be your man. Like I wanna be your man. And she was like, Well, oh well. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. He said, listen, yes, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous, but at the same time, man, this can't be it for you, man. And I can understand that you probably went through something as a teenager, a child, or whatever, and this got you looking at men a certain way. But I'm not like that. I'm not saying I'm a saint, like I never cheated on a girl or whatever. But no, on the real, when I seen you, I said, man, you gonna be my wife, like for real. And she was like, oh, okay. I kind of feel bad now that I went off on you like that. He said, no, it's okay, man. I mean, I know that you probably used to that type of behavior, but no, I'm not on that, like, for real. So she was like, so you ain't got no other bees? He was like, no, I don't. And I don't even call girl bees. I call them women, man. I don't even talk like that. So he was like, listen, I want to be with you. And like I said, I'm willing to take my time with you. I'm willing to learn you and grow with you or whatever. And, you know, to be your man. And she was like, that is so sweet, man. Ain't no man ever talked to me like that. And, you know, she went into this story of telling how her uncle used to molest her or whatever. And, it just really messed her up. The girl was 3 years old when he messed with this girl till she was 12 until he went to prison for some other unrelated stuff or whatever. He said she was just hurt and just tore up about that. So she told him, like, you know, my uncle, he out of prison, and every time I see him, it's like he try to make a pass at me or something like that, and I'm just tired of it. So he like, basically, I get rid of him. I get him up out of here. And she was like, you would? And he was like, yeah, I would get him up out of here. So she like, okay, you'll do that for me? You don't even know me. He like, listen, you going to be my wife. And if this man did this to you and he walking this earth and every time you see him, it opened up more trauma, no, he got to go. He got to go today. And she was like, okay, bet. Okay, well, listen, this is his address, and he usually come home from work at 10 o'clock at night. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to go to his house, and I'm going to unscrew this light on the side of the house. You be there waiting on him. When he get out the car and he go to the door, you can just come from the side and do him in. So he said, okay, bet. So later on that night, right, just like clockwork, he pulls up down the street. He walks up to the house. He goes to the side of the house, right? 15 minutes later, the uncle, or the so-called uncle, pulls up, get out his car, take his keys out, put it in the door, and turn the lock. My homeboy Terry emerged from the dark. Pop, 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 pop. Lay him down. He take off running down the street, jump in the car, and take off. He calls on her. Hey, baby, I did it, baby, I did it. Right? She say, oh, okay, let me call you back. She hang up. So he like, what the? So he called her back. She's like, hey, I'm going to call you back. Right? He pulls up to her house. He knocking on the door like, hey, open the door. She opened the door. She got this big old smile on her face. Big smile on her face. He like, hey, yeah, I did. And she was like, ooh, thank God. And he like, what? Thank God what? And she was like, yeah, you actually did it. And he's like, yeah, I did. I told her I was going to do it. She was like, man, thank God, man. I ain't got to get this dude this 30 racks. Good. And he said, what? She was like, oh, no, mind. He's like, wait. What you mean 30 racks? What you mean? She was like, boy, that wasn't my damn uncle. That dude, I owed that dude 30 racks in gambling, man. I racked up this debt, man, and I owed him $30, and you just took him out for me. He was like, what? That wasn't your uncle? What? She was like, "No, man, that dude, I owed that dude some money, man. And I guess dead man can't talk, dead man can't collect debts." And she was like, "Get the fuck out of my house before I call the police." He said, "What? Wait, what?" Yeah, that's right, y'all. She just set this dude all the way up. So he said she dang near nudged him out the house. And he sitting there, but standing outside the door, confused, like, hold on. This bitch just, oh my God. I just took this man's life. This girl just played. Oh my goodness. So he said he runs down the stairs, right? He jump in his car and he go to his house. So he said he just get in the bed and he like, man, I just killed this man for what? I just killed this man for, man, forget it. So he just get up and he go to the liquor store and go get him a fifth of Henny. And he come back home and he just drinking. So he said he's sitting there on his couch and then boom, right? The SWAT team hit the door. Boom. They put them guns in his face, throw him down, face to the carpet, ass up, handcuffs behind your back, right? Snatch him up. He already know what time it is. You see, when he ran down the street, right, somebody got the license plates. Yeah, when he ran down the street after he popped old dude, somebody, and that's why I tell y'all, there's always somebody watching. There's somebody always watching. Somebody got his license plates, turned them license plates in, and they tracked him down to his house. Now, me and him is on the yard, right? And he's telling me this story. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. This prison story is about when Freaky Freddy tried to press up on Fish for 2 packs of cigarettes. Now, for those that don't know who Freaky Freddy is, and for those that don't know who Fish is, I told many stories about Freaky Freddy, right? And I told maybe 3 stories about Fish. Now, Freaky Freddy was from Detroit, Michigan, and Fish was actually a guy that I knew back from Flint, Michigan. Now, the reason why they call Fish, it wasn't because that was his name in prison. No, this was his nickname back in junior high. I don't know exactly how he got that name Fish, but it stuck, right? Before we go any further, though, I need y'all to do your big partner Dante a favor, okay? Number 1, I need for y'all to hit that like button. And number 2, I need for y'all to let me know where y'all from. And I'm going to tell y'all why I need to know where y'all from. Just in case, if Elon Musk allow me to get on the first rocket ship to go to Mars, right? And let's say is a malfunction, right? And it's going out the atmosphere and I got to bail out. I need to know that wherever I land at on the earth, right? On whatever continent, whatever country, city or state or town, I need to know where y'all will allow me to come lay on your couch until I get rescued. So let me know in the comment section where you from. Also, y'all, I started my gaming podcast, okay? My gaming podcast. I'm going to have the link to my gaming podcast at the top of the comment section. All right, now let's get to the story. So, Fish came into our dormitory, right? I believe it was Friday. It was Friday because it was Burger Friday. Now, everybody know on Burger Friday, it is going down. It's almost, I ain't even going to say almost, it's guaranteed that out of 100 men in this dormitory, at least 20 fights is going to pop off because of these burgers and these fries. Because you got cats out there, what I like to say, ass betting, right? And these dudes will sit up there and be gambling trades that they don't have to give. And somebody is going to go without.
Somebody can owe out 3-4 trays, right? And they only got 2 trays to cover debts. Somebody gonna go without, and somebody that's going without ain't gonna go for it, right? So Fish comes in there, and he come right over there to my section, right? Because I'm running the Detroit, Flint, Pontiac, Saginaw, Benton Harbor, and Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids car, right? So he comes right over there, because Fish, at this time, Fish been down for about 9 months. So he know to get down, right? But Fish never met Freaky Freddy, but we finna get to that. Also, y'all, this whole entire week, right? This whole entire week, I'm just going to do Freaky Freddy stories. So today is Monday. Tomorrow you're going to get a Freaky Freddy story Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all right? So anyway, yeah, we're doing a Freaky Freddy series this week. So anyway, Fish rolls over there, and he like, hey, what's up, Dante? I said, what's good? I said, you straight? You need anything? He said, man, I've been jonesing, man. You got any cigarettes, any Newports? I said, yeah, I got a couple of them. Why, what's up? He was like, man, like, how you running it? How you running it? And what he mean by that, because everybody know that I ran that store. So what I would do with the cigarette game, I would, if you want 1 cigarette, you got to give me 3 back, right? But in commissary, I would say give me 2 packs of noodles, right? For basically, if you take 1 cigarette from me on store day, I need 2 packs of noodles back, right? Or I need 2 honey buns. So if that makes sense. So 1 cigarette right there will cost you that. So I said, okay, check this out. I'm going to give you 5, right? I'm going to give you 5. So I need 25 packs of ramen noodles, or you can mix and match it with other commissary items. So he said, okay, bet, right? Yeah, it was real expensive up in there, right? That tobacco. So I did not know that Fish developed a chain smoke habit. I didn't know this. So when I gave him them 5, he bounced off. He rolled off. I don't know where he went. I don't know what he did. But he came back like 10 minutes later. It was like, hey, Dante, listen, I know I owe you, 25 items, but you think I can get another? I said, Fish, come on. I said, hey, listen, Fish, check this out, man. I know we from the same city, but I'm not finna let you owe me no 50 items, bro. That ain't happening. He like, man, Dante, man, I'm jonesing, man. I really need it. I need it bad. Now, Fish wasn't a bad guy. Fish wasn't, he wasn't a creep. He wasn't he wasn't somebody that will intentionally try to get over on you or anything. So I said, you know what, Fish, here go a whole pack. I blessed him with a whole pack, y'all, that I could have got maybe 300 items off of. I just tossed him a whole pack, right? I said, here you go. He said, what's up? I said, Fish, I tell you what, give me your tray. Give me your tray. We can call it even, the whole whop. Now, this cat's looking at me like, what? Dante, are you serious? But they ain't say nothing. But they looking at me like, hold on, man. Did Dante really just get this old dude a pack for a tray? Oh, man. Right? So I tossed it to him. He said, I got you. I said, hey, Fish, I'm going to tell you right now, if I don't get that burger and fry, I'm going to kill you. He said, oh, man, Dante, come on, man, you looked out for me. You looked out for me, bud. This a blessing. This a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. I said, all right, Fish, I'm not playing with you. You better not get that tray up to nobody else. I promise to God, Fish. He was like, all right, I got you, Dante. I got you. So he bounced off, right? Again, y'all, I got to put a pause. Again, I started my new gaming podcast channel. I'm going to have it pinned at the top of the comment section. All right. So anyway, he bounced off. And so Al was like, hey, Dante, man, what's up? I said, what you mean, what's up? He said, man, why you let Fish get the whole pack like that? I said, first of all, that's my pack. Okay, y'all don't dictate to me who I give and, let people slide on or whatever, man. What you mean? He said, but that was 3. I said, Al, man, mind your business, man. He like, all right, man, I ain't trying to tell you how. I said, well, it looked just like that you trying to tell me how to run my store. He like, all right, Dante, my bad. So about, I don't know, let's just say an hour go past, right? A whole hour go past. Now, I'm over here watching the National Geographic Discovery Channel. I think it was Shark Week, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, and that's a pleasure for me to watch the sharks, chomp on people, they chop on people or whatever. So I'm watching it, and Fish comes over there, and he like, hey, Dante, I'm finna go get your tray. I said, all right, bet. So, the guy coming in, people coming to me, the trustees coming in there with the trays or whatever. So I get up right quick, and I put my hat right there at my seat so people would know don't touch that hat because, I'm sitting right there. So I get up there, I go get my tray, and I'm sitting right there, and I got my spread right there, right? And cats coming to me that owe me fries. Cats coming over there that owe me burgers or whatever. And then cats is coming over there, dropping off the food or whatever. And I know I probably don't need to say this because we all adults, but some people don't understand this and don't know no better. In prison, matter of fact, in any place, but especially prison, never, ever put your hands on another man's food with giving him the items, okay? Because I done seen a lot of dudes get their head bust wide open because they done put their hands on somebody's fries and put it on their tray, or they put their bare hands on somebody's burger and put it on their tray and then get their head busted to the white meat, right? So cats coming over there, I'm taking the fries, I'm taking burgers, whatever, cats coming over there, and I'm giving out what I owe the cats or whatever. So in the long run, I've had like 3 burgers and like a mountain of fries or whatever. So I'm good, right? So Fish come over there, he drop off his tray, good. So me and Fish Gucci, we good, right? So I happen to look over there, and Freaky Freddy is standing in his doorway, and he's looking at Fish, right? So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Remember, y'all, this is Fish's first day in the pod, right, in his dorm. So Freaky Freddy is standing there. He just walked right over there to Fish, right? Now, I'm pretty sure, Fish heard about him. I'm pretty sure somebody pointed Freaky Freddy out and told him, like, yo, he the store man, or, stay away from him if you ain't like that, or, you know what I'm saying? Somebody have to put Fish on game about Freaky Freddy. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, if he over there talking to Freaky Freddy or Freaky Freddy over there talking to him, it got to be something sexual. It got to be some type of demonic activity that Freaky Freddy trying to put out on him. But that's not always necessary. That's not always, that's what's really going on. Freaky Freddy could just be hollering at him about some other type of business. But with my experience, Freaky Freddy sees a new guy coming here. He sees, Freaky Freddy always watching. He's always watching. He always trying to look for an opportunity to assert his dominance or put himself in somebody's life, right? And what better else to see a new guy coming in here that ain't got no commissary, ain't got nothing, just gave away his tray, right? So Freaky Freddy is an opportunist. So he went over there, and so this is the conversation. So he walked up to him, he said, hey, how you doing, young blood? So Fish like, I'm good, man. What's going on? He said, I noticed that you smoke cigarettes. He said, yeah, I do. You got some, OG? He said, yeah, I got some cigarettes. I got a couple cartons. He said, bet. He said, but it's gonna cost you though. And he like, man, well, what is gonna cost me? Is you gonna charge like Dante charged me? Cause Dante do 1 for 3. He said, nah, I don't need no food. I don't need no commissary. But don't you step over here right quick? Come step in myself so we can talk personal. I don't want everybody in my business, right? Now, like I said, y'all, I don't know if Fish know about Freaky Freddy. I don't know if anybody put him on game. I'm assuming somebody did. I'm assuming his cellmate did. I don't know. Or maybe he didn't. So I see Fish walking over there and he go to Freaky Freddy's cell, right? Now, Tar T is lingering around Freaky Freddy's cell for some reason. I don't know if he just eavesdropping. I don't know if he about to do a deal with somebody close by the cell. But Tar T hears the conversation, and I'm about to give y'all the conversation that Tar T told me. So so basically, when Fish get in the cell with Freaky Freddy like, listen, I don't play games at all, right? I don't need no food. You see what I got. I got all this food and, you know, all this hygiene, and I got everything that you would need, right? But, you know, I'm just like this, man. If I give you a carton of cigarettes, right? You know what I'm saying? That could get you, I mean, how I seen you smoking them cigarettes, that'll get you straight for about a week or a week and a half. You know what I'm saying? But I need something from you. And Fish like, what do you need from me? He like, man, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. You know, just hear me out. Just hear me out. So Fish like, what's up? What is it? He like, listen, man, I've been in here for 15 years now, right? And you know, sometimes I get lonely up in here. And Fish was like, okay. And Freaky Freddy was like, listen, sometimes I get lonely up in here, and you know, sometimes I seek companionship. So Fish like, what do you mean companionship? Like, what do that mean? He like, listen, I'm gonna scratch your back by giving you this carton of cigarettes, but I'm gonna need for you to scratch my back when the time comes. And Fish like, well, what do you mean scratch your back? What did that mean? You're like, listen, I want you to I want to have sex with you. So Tar T said it got quiet. Now I don't know. This is what's coming from Tar T because he's right there by the cell. So I don't know. So Tar T like, it just got real quiet. And then Fish walk out the cell. Now, Fish didn't have no cigarettes in his hand. So I'm assuming that, you know, he like, no, I'm not with that. I'm not doing that, right? Rightfully so. Now, I seen when Fish leave out the cell, boom. And I guess that was the end of it. So I thought, right? So next thing you know, about 10 minutes later, Fish goes to Freaky Freddy's cell and he knock on the door. He say, hey, man, come on with it. Let me get the carton. So Freaky Freddy gets up, he goes to his stash and he gives him the carton. Now, as he's handing Fish the carton, he like, now you know what comes with this, right? And Fish like, yeah, man, I know. Now, at this, I hear the conversation now, y'all. Everybody kind of watching at this point. He like, yeah, man, I know what you said. I got this. I'm good, right? So he like, all right, man, you know what comes with this. So he give him the carton and he runs to his cell, right? So the next couple of days, Fish is out there smoking good. When I say Fish is smoking good, Fish out here clouding, y'all. Fish is, he done broke down two cigarettes, y'all. Rolled a fat one up. I mean, he's smoking like he's smoking a cigar out here, right? He's smoking good. The fourth day comes around. Freaky Freddy is heading to the shower. I did not know that Fish was already in the shower, right? So Freaky Freddy is heading to the shower. So he pushes up on Fish while Fish is in the shower. And I guess Fish tell him like, no, man, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because this is what I heard. Because I was standing in the line to get in the shower. And I hear Fish say, hey, man, I'm not doing that, man. No, I'm not doing that. And you hear Freaky Freddy say, no, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I gave you them cigarettes. And so it get quiet, and then you hear Fish running out. Fish like, man, move. And he run out of there. And then Freaky Freddy comes out, and he don't come all the way out of the bathroom, but he like stick his head out. He was like, hey, well, you gonna have to give me them cigarettes back. You gonna have to give me all them cigarettes back. I want double. I want 2 cartons, or you gonna give me that ASS. But he said the word, but I just got to spell it out. So we all looking like, well, hey, it ain't our business. He knew what time it was. Hey, it is what it is, right? So Fish is in the cell now, right? And Freaky Freddy comes out the shower. He go to his cell. About 15 minutes go by, and Freaky Freddy comes out of his cell, and he beeline straight to his cell, right, to a Fish cell. And he's standing at the doorway. He was like, hey, man, you thought I was playing with you? I told you what was going. I told you what I needed if I gave them cigarettes. And Fish like, man, listen, man, we just gonna have to fight, man. We just gonna have to fight. So Freaky Freddy's like, hey, no, I'm not taking no loss, man. I need what I need, or you gonna have to give me 2 cartons. So Fish was like, man, listen, I ain't got nothing. I don't got nothing, man. I don't got nothing. So Freaky Freddy like, hey, listen, I'm not trying to hear that, man. You knew the deal. So now, y'all, what I'm about to tell y'all, I don't know if this part happened. I was not in that cell. I wasn't even nowhere near the cell. I was on the second tier towards the right corner. So I couldn't see nothing and I couldn't hear nothing. Okay. This was told to me by my homeboy Carl that lived right next door to Freaky Freddy. Right? Before count, it's like a 30-minute window where there's no guards in there, right? Now, my homeboy Carl was in Freaky Freddy's cell playing poker. He said that Fish, now I didn't see this, y'all. He said that Fish walked in the cell and told Carl, like, hey, can I talk to him right quick? And he was like, yeah, what is it about? That's what Freaky Freddy said. And he was like, I just need to talk to you. Right? So he told my homeboy Carl to, step out for a minute. Carl goes to his cell, and he can hear because the vent is right there. Freaky Freddy puts up the white sheet, right? And he said, what's up? He said, I got your money. And he like, well, where's it at? Where's it at? And he said that Fish pulled down his pants and said, I'm the money, and laid down on the bed. Now, I don't know, because I wasn't there to hear or see this. But that is what I was told, because word get around, right? So don't say, oh, Dante, why you put Fish business out there? Listen, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what Carl told me. Now, here's some things that y'all might want to put on y'all mind. Whenever a white sheet goes up, it's not always for sexual activity. You could be, breaking down a pack. You could just doing something, where men do that's heterosexual, It's many things that can be going on. But 9 times out of 10, if Freaky Freddy got the white sheet up and there's another male in there, something is going on. And like I said, Carl didn't have no reason to lie. He said he heard Fish say, I'm the money, and laid down on the bed. Now look, y'all, I need for y'all to do me a favor right quick. I started a new channel. It's a gaming podcast channel, right? I'm playing off the PS5. So if y'all want to, rock out with me, my gamer tag name is the Donta Show 88. Okay, that's my PS5 gamer tag, right? So what we do over there, do y'all remember the Terradome panels with, when I bring everybody up and we just be chatting and talking? That's what it is. But the thing is, I'm just playing the game, right? Fortnite and Warzone, zombies, stuff like that. So if y'all interested in that type of content, I'm going to have the link to that channel pinned at the top of the comment section. And with that, y'all, I'm out.
This prison story is about when I found out that my homeboy Terrell was peeing inside of the jungle juice. Now, for those that never been to prison or the county jail, jungle juice is, where I say in Genesee County, is wine. Fermented wine, where you get oranges, you get apple juice, orange juice, even a little bit of toothpaste, right? I said toothpaste, and you just put it in a bag and just let it ferment, for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and it turns to alcohol, right? And yes, I did say sometimes they put mouthwash in it too, right? Now, my homeboy Terrell, that was his whole program. He will make the best jungle juice in Genesee County. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I did not have any of it. Number one, Donta don't drink. I don't drink at all. In fact, in my whole 37 years of living on this earth, right? 37 years living on this earth, I probably had alcohol maybe 20 times. Now, let me explain something to y'all. I don't like the taste of alcohol. I hate it, right? So you might catch Donta back in the day with maybe a wine cooler or something like that. Even nowadays in my later years, last Christmas, we had a breakfast at my dad's house. And my sister bought some Stella Rose Black. So I tasted and I fell in love with it. Now, you might catch Donta with a couple bottles of Stella Rose in the refrigerator every once in a while, but I'm just trying to paint the scene to y'all to let y'all know I'm not pressed on drinking, right? So anyway, my homeboy Terrell had it on lock, right? And dudes used to go crazy for his wine in prison, So, but before we go on, y'all already know what time it is, right? Y'all know what time it is. Now, number one, hit the like button. And number two, let me know where y'all from in the comment section. Just in case if I'm skydiving, right? If I jump out of an airplane because I want to do some recreational skydiving and a parachute malfunction, I need to know whose house I can land on and go through y'all roof and land on y'all couch. So let me know in the comment section where y'all from in the comment section. All right, let me know. Now let's get back to the story. So anyway, I come to my homeboy Terrell and I'm like, hey, Terrell, man, you got these dudes out here bent, man. These dudes is going crazy for your wine, man. Like, what you be putting in there? He was like, man, I can't tell you, D. I can't tell you. I'm like, man, come on, man. It shouldn't be no big secret, man. I mean, what? You put the oranges in there, the apple juice, like what? I mean, like, what are you doing to having these dudes crazy? He was like, bruh, I can't tell you, man. I'll tell you when I get out of here. I was like, you would tell me when you get out. I said, but look, man, I'm just trying to get in on the hustle. You know what I mean? Because you'll be leaving in a week. And, I want to keep this thing going. So he like, Donta, listen, I'm going to tell you, but I can't tell you right now, man, because I don't want you to knock my hustle anyway. You already got a stove, man. So why and listen, y'all, me, when I was in lockup, I was a hustler. I ran a protection scheme where inmates that wanted to do their time peacefully, they would come to me and, me and my crew would extend our services to them of protecting them and making sure they were safe, right? And I also ran the store where you would come to me if you hungry or you need hygiene like deodorant, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, whatever it is, I could get it for you. But you would have to pay me double and sometimes triple of what you understand me, what you asked for, right? Or you got for me. So it's only natural that, I want to get in the Jungle Juice game, right? Which is the prison wine. So I'm like, man, come on, man. So I was hassling him every day. Like, man, come on, man. Tell me how to do it, man. So, he had 3 days left, right, before he was going home or whatever. So I said, man, you gonna show me how to do this or what? So he like, all right, man, I'm gonna show you how to do it, whatever. So I said, all right, bet. So he come and he said, all right, Dante, I'm finna show you how to do it. So he had this plastic bag, right? And he'll pour apple juice in there. He'll put oranges in there, like orange slices, orange peelings, the whole nine, right? He'll put that in there. He'll put some, what was that called? I'm saying it, Listerine. He'll put a little bit of Listerine in it also, right? And then he'll put like apples in there. He'll put grapes, crushed up grapes up in there. And he'll also put a whole bunch of Jolly Ranchers in there also. And he'll just make sure you tie it up real tight, like with no air. Of course, air in it, whatever. But you just try to put no air in it, right? And you just have it real tight. And you just put it in the dark, put it in your shoebox, put it in your locker, whatever, and have it dark. And you just have it in there for days. The longer you keep it in there, the stronger it gets. Now, here's the problem, okay? Wine and jungle juice, or what we call it jungle juice, is contraband. Meaning the police, if they see you making that or they catch you with it, they busting that bag and they throwing it away and you getting rolled up. And if you keep getting rolled up and get caught with it, you're going to the hole for about a week or two, right? So you cannot have this. I mean, just think about it for obvious reasons. You got cats in there that's alcoholics, right? And we all know that there's people out there, when they get to drinking, they get violent, right? And he was one of them type of, anyway, just don't drink alcohol in prison, right? So, it was 3 days left, right? 3 days left. So the second day, I asked him, I said, what's the process? He said, you just keep it in a dark place, keep it in the dark place. Now, at this time, y'all, I'm just real anxious, because I helped him make this batch, and I want to see what it's like, right? So nothing happened. Third day, the day that he was about to leave, right? He said, okay, Dante, I'm going to show you actually how to do this, right? Now, you already know how to mix everything, but this is what you got to do next. I said, what? He said, well, look, I'm going to tell you what to do. It's something that give you that spark, that tang taste. And I said, what? So I'm sipping a little bit of it, the taste. And I said, okay. But I mean, like I said, I never tasted this before because I don't know what's the big deal. It's nasty to me, right? Because I don't like alcohol anyway. But he said, Dante, it's a certain thing that they like. And I said, what is it? He said, well, I pee in it. I said, what? And I hurried up and looked at the bag. He said, no, I didn't pee in that bag. No. But that's what I do. Like on the third or fourth day, I pee in it. I said, man, stop playing, man. He said, Dante, listen, don't tell nobody. But yeah, that's what I do. I pee in it. I said, yo, dog, are you serious? He said, yeah, that's how, it's like it gives them that kick. It gives them that tang taste. I said, so hold up, man. Let me get this straight. So after you ferment it, you stick your thing in there and pee. And he said, no, man, I don't do that. Not like that. No, I pee in this bottle and I pee and I just pour it in there. And, let it ferment some more. I said, dog, I said, what if I would have asked for a prior cup? What you would have told me? He said, yeah, I would have told you, like, no, I can't give you that. I said, but what if I was going to be persistent about it? He said, Dante, come on, man. I wouldn't do you like that, bro. Look, I wouldn't do none of my homies like that. That's why I don't sell to my homies. I said, okay, I guess that makes sense. So then a dude come knock on the door like, hey, Terrell, can I get a cup, man? Since you about to go? Terrell was like, hey, y'all, check this out. Let everybody know this going to be the final batch. I'm letting Dante take over this. He know how to do it now, and I'm gonna give all this away, so all drinks on me tonight. When the dude walked off, y'all, I was like, yo, Terrell, man, that's foul, homie. That's foul. He was like, hey, man, hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, this prison, what should I do? I mean, hey. So I said, all right, look, check this out, man. I gotta go. So I left out the cell and I went to my cell and I laid down, and I just hear dudes just talking about like, yeah, man, we finna drink. We about to pour up. This is celebration. Terrell about to leave, and they talking about, well, who gonna be making the wine? Who gonna be making the wine? Now at this time, there's no guards here at all. I don't even know where the guards is at, right? And dude saying like, well, shoot, he showed Dante how to do it, and dudes coming to my cell like, hey, Dante, when Terrell leave, you gonna whip up some batches or whatever? And I said, yeah, I think about it, man. I think about it, right? So it was about 6 o'clock, and Terrell had these guys coming to the cell. Dudes just coming with their cups, and he just filling it up, right? And all I'm thinking is like, man, they just don't know. They just don't know. Dudes just wandering around smiling like, yeah, man, hey, Dante, woo, boy. I'm telling you, man, and you better be able to make it hit like this, man, because I'm telling you, man. So I'm just thinking, man, y'all niggas just don't know, right? So next thing you know, they end up, the guards called Terrell later on, and he ended up packing it up. So he left, right? So now cats coming to me like, hey, Dante, when you going to whip up a batch? Cats coming to me, giving me apples, oranges, all type of things to get this going. Jolly Ranchers and everything, right? So I'm like, all right. So I said, come back in 2 days or whatever. So I make it just the way he say to make it. I put the Jolly Ranchers in there, put the apple juice in there, the orange juice. I'm putting the orange pillins in there, the Jolly Ranchers. I'm putting the Listerine in there, and I'm letting it ferment, right? So boom, on the 3rd day, right, when it's supposed to be done or whatever, cats coming to the sale. I'm selling $5 cups, right? So $5 cups is really 2 packs of noodles and 2 honey buns and a Mountain Dew, right? Or you can switch the items out, whatever. But I was selling big cups though, right? 16-ounce cups, right? But cats was complaining. They're like, man, Dante, it's all right, but it ain't hitting. It ain't hitting like Terrell's used to hit. And I'm like, all right, y'all, just chill, man. I got y'all. Cats was complaining like, man, Dante, this ain't the same, man. I mean, it's all right, but man, can we negotiate on the price? Instead of 5 ounce, can we give you 3? And, people, cats in prison always trying to haggle the price. But I said, all right, I got y'all. So, I was letting cats slide with 3 packs, 3 items for a 16-ounce glass of wine or whatever. So it was what it was. So I'm looking at my numbers right now. All the ingredients I got this time was for free, right? So I didn't come out of nothing, but me looking at the projections when I'm going to have to start, you know what I'm saying, getting these items on my own to make this jungle juice, I knew I was going to be in the red eventually. So I said, you know what? All right, let me try this one more time. So I whipped up another batch the same way, the same play, right? And cats still complaining. They're like, man, Dante, man, hey, man, this ain't hitting. It ain't hitting the same way like Terrell did, bruh. Like, come on, dog. Like, I like, all right. But I still sold out because, cats, they still gonna drink and pull up or whatever. So I whip up another batch, y'all. And I'm just gonna have to ask y'all to forgive me, okay? Y'all just gonna have to forgive me. Because what I'm about to tell y'all next, hey, I gotta ask for forgiveness, right? It's prison. But before we go on with the story, y'all, listen, I started a new channel. It's the Pterodon Podcast Gaming Channel. It's basically where I'm playing the video game, but y'all listening to my podcast also. It's about, well, y'all just got to go check it out. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But I'm going to have the link pinned at the top of the comment section. All right, but let's finish this story. So anyway, I whip up the third batch, right? And I'm telling cats, like, listen, this going to be the best batch that y'all ever had. It's going to be better than Terrell's, because instead of on the third day, I'm going to let it ferment for 4 days, right? And they're like, all right, man, Dante, man, you done messed up on the first batches, man, but come on, bro, you gotta let us know, man. Come on, you gotta come through. This is the fourth quarter, D. So I said, all right, and I said, hey, I guarantee y'all that I put my stamp on it. I said, listen, if this don't hit harder than Terrell's, yo, it's free. It's on the house. So cat's like, all right, bet, right? I said, other than that, it's 5 items for a 16-ounce cup. They're like, all right, bet. Listen, y'all. Now, y'all can judge me. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, and I know. Y'all gonna be like, oh, Dante, that was foul for you to do that. That was wrong. What the people that you was locked up with, that you sold to Jungle Juice, they want to get revenge on you for doing what I'm about to say. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. I done survived the 80s. I done survived the 90s. I done survived the 20s, the 2020s, the 2010s, and we in 2020s. It is what it is. So I sat there on the bed, right? And yeah, I battled and I wrestled with myself. You know, I said, you know what, man, I ain't gonna do it. But then I thought about it. I said, you know what? We don't know what we really eat in anyway, what they put in our food and water and stuff anyway. So I got up and before y'all judge me, I know y'all gonna be like, oh, Dante, you foul, you wrong. So I got up, right? And I pulled the bag from under the bed, right? Because remember I told you it got to be in darkness to ferment like that. And I sat there for a minute. And then I contemplated. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Right? And like I said, y'all just got to forgive me. So I got the bag, right? Got the bag. I opened it up. Due to YouTube regulations and policies. Yeah, due to YouTube regulations and policies and laws, I can't tell y'all what I did. And this is not no admission of nothing. But let's just put it this way. Every cup that I sold, every cat was like, man, Dante, you wasn't BSing. This hit way harder than Terrell's Jungle Juice. And I say, yeah, I know. Let me tell y'all something. Every time I had pre-orders of Jungle Juice. From that day on to the day I left. I'm going to tell y'all something. Yeah, I done did many shameful things on this earth. I have. I did. I done did things that I had to ask God to forgive me for all my sins about. And I ain't making no excuses for what I did neither. But I will say this. Now, I know a lot of y'all like, oh, Dante, you wrong. You foul for doing that. I never said I did anything. Y'all assuming that I peed in the Jungle Juice. That's what y'all assuming. I never said I did. But then again, I never said I didn't either. That's up for y'all to decide and y'all to debate. But it is what it is, right? It's prison, right? So again, I never said that I did, and I'm not saying that I didn't either. So it is what it is. Now, in the comment section, put a 1 in the comment section if y'all think I peed in the jungle juice, or y'all put a 2 in the comment section if y'all think that I didn't. Now, hey, however it plays out, it's the way you play out. I ain't admitting to spit. I'm out. This prison story is about when Freaky Freddy ended up doing the unthinkable with his blood cousin in prison. Now, before we go on with this story, I need for y'all to do me a favor, okay? After this story go off, I need for y'all to go to the comment section, right? At the top of the comment section, okay? I need for y'all to click that link. It's going to take y'all to my brand new page where I tell different type of stories, all right? Go over there, subscribe to the channel, and the new videos is out over there, okay? Also, in the comment section, show me some love, y'all. Let me know where y'all from in the comment section. Put your area code in there, put your zip code, or even put your city or your state, all right? Because Dante could be out there skateboarding, right? And I could be jumping over the Grand Canyon, and I might fall off the skateboard and into a vortex and end up in your city, state, or town, okay? Or even your village. So let me know where you're from, so that way I can lay on your couch until somebody come pick me up, all right? And again, y'all, at the top of the comment section, make sure y'all subscribe to my new channel. All right, y'all, let's get to it. So we on the yard, right? And I see Freaky Freddy talking to the new guy. Now, this dude was maybe 5'11". He could have even been 6 foot, right? He was a healthy looking dude, maybe about 210, 215, right? So I'm looking at him like, okay, I know Freaky Freddy ain't putting the boot game on him. And for those that don't know the boot game, this is basically Freaky Freddy trying to wine and dine him and possibly physically overpowering him and trying to do something to him later on if he don't get what he want. Even though that wasn't how Freaky Freddy programmed, but every once in a while he did do that to, you know, weaker inmates. But it's rare that he have done that. So I see the new guy talking to him, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe, you know, Freaky Freddy, because normally I warn people about him, you know, because it's a sad thing to see somebody get caught up or jammed up in a situation, because prison already hard enough. You don't want it even harder with somebody trying to pound on your back. Pause, right? So usually I look out for inmates and let them know the deal, like, yo, hey, this is how this dude is, and if you like that, then it is what it is, right? But I didn't get to this guy yet, right? So I see them hitting the yard and they walking and they just laughing and giggling and talking together. So the way that, like in prison, you read people real fast, right? It's like, I don't know, it's something like, you can tell like Freaky Freddy and a dude like knew each other out on the streets, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, man, they gotta know each other. They gotta know each other prior to prison, right? So I said, I summoned one of my homeboys to go over there and intercept the conversation, right? Now I know. A lot of y'all like, oh, Dante, you supposed to mind your business. You need to mind your business in prison. And what is that to you? Why you in a business? Well, let me tell y'all something. Forget what everybody be talking about when they be say, oh, you need to mind your business. Everybody is all on man time and everybody keep it G. No, that's a lie. Everybody is always in everybody else's business. That's why it's always issues. That's why it's always problems. There's dudes that's always hating, jealous, and envious dudes that's always steady plotting and scheming and trying to get over on the next man. So don't nobody mind their business, all right? So I sent my homeboy over there, and he come back like in 2 minutes. And I'm like, what's up? He said, man, that's bruh cousin. I said, that's his cousin. He was like, yeah, man, that's his cousin that's his blood cousin. I said, how you get all that? Why, by 2 minutes. He was like, shoot, they was talking about his auntie and all this and that. And I said, oh, okay, all right. So I just left it alone. So I'm walking past him, and I hear Freaky Freddy telling him, like, yeah, man, I'm definitely getting you in the cell, bro. I'm getting you in the cell, man. Yeah, man, it's really good to see you. And they dapped up and they walked off. And Freaky Freddy went over there by the weight pile and was doing what he do, right? Now, I'm going to tell y'all, Freaky Freddy wasn't over there to lift weights. Freaky Freddy is one of them type of old school prisoners that what he would do, and y'all just have to excuse me, y'all said y'all want the inside of these prison stories and what be going on with these dudes. Well, what Freaky Freddy would do, he'd go over there by the weight pile. He wouldn't be right there, but he'd be right there in eye shot, right? And what he'd do, he'd have his hand in his pants, right? And well, that's what he's doing. He's gunning whoever's right there on that bench, meaning he's looking at them and he getting off, right? Until somebody catch him and they threaten him, then he walk off. That's what he does. That's how he programmed, and that's just what it is, right? So he went over there and he got to doing what he was doing till he got finally yelled at and screamed down on, right? Then he just walk off. So we end up back in the dormitory, right? And I'm down there playing dominoes with all my homeboys. And we gambling, y'all. When I say we gambling, we are gambling. I got about 20 packs of ramen noodles down there. Man, I got about 15 Mountain Dews. I got a whole stack of honey buns, man. Hot Cheetos, all that. Listen, y'all, it's Friday, right? And we about to, listen, the deputy that come on, the CO, he real cool. He let us, because usually we got to be locked down at 9 p.m. But he let us rock out to like midnight, right? As long as there ain't no issues, as long as there ain't no drama, as long when he get done with that count and ain't no issues, we good, right? So we out there, right? We playing tunk, dominoes, all of that, right? So I didn't know the cousin was already moved in Freaky Freddy's cell, right? Now, remember, y'all, Freaky Freddy is a store guy, too. I'm not the only store guy in this pod. Freaky Freddy is a store guy, too, right? So his cousin is in his cell, right? And I don't know how he got moved in there that quick. That ain't the issue. The issue is this. The cousin is coming to the gambling spot that I was hosting, right? And he's coming with unlimited commissary, and he's losing. Now, my homeboy Al whispered in my ear, told me like, hey, he's still in Freaky Freddy commissary. Now, I don't know where Freaky Freddy was at. He probably was in his cell sleep, or he was somewhere else doing something that he had no business doing on God's green earth, right? But nevertheless, I'm like, I don't care. Shoot, that's between him and him. Now, it had to be maybe, I probably took maybe, let's just say 60 items from this dude, right? And he was like, man, hold on, I'll be back. And this dude came with a laundry bag full of commissary. There's about 50, 60 items in there too. He said, let's bet it all on one hand. Now, I said, now listen, okay, so in Tunk, if you hit 49 or 50 off the rip, you win. right? Also, another rule is if you drop and the other person catch you, you got to pay them double. Now, I told him, listen, because cats will do that real quick, you know. I can't tell nobody how to play cards, but, you know, cats are on first hand, they drop it, just bam. And it's like a 60, 70% chance that you could win. But, you know, I told him, okay, listen, we'll do that. But here's the thing. You cannot drop on the first hand, and we're not doing doubles. And he said, all right, bet, cool, whatever. So we play. Bam, 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 right? We like in the 8th hand, and then he dropped, and he wins. So now he got about 100 to 120 items. So he just collected, and he go back to the sale, right? So I'm rubbing my head because really I didn't really lose anything. You know, he actually got what he lost anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really tripping. So he go back to his cell, and Freaky Freddy come out the cell, and he just standing there looking at us. So then he walk over there. He like, hey, my cousin was just over here. It was like, wow, what's up? He was like, just tell me, was he over here? And I was like, you go ask him. And he was like, all right. So he goes back to the cell, and he like, hey man. So we hear the conversation because he loud, right? He like, hey, I done told you already, man, you just can't be eating up my food, man. This is my business. You can't be doing that. So he like, his cousin like, man, cut it out, man. Man, cut it out before I make you. And it got quiet. So when he said that, we all like, what did he just say? Now, let me tell y'all something. In prison, you don't supposed to play with people. And when I say play with people, because wrestling can turn into a knife stabbing, you know, calling somebody out their name can get your head bust. But what he said, we all was scratching our heads like, what did he just say? Then he said it again. He said, don't make me make you, you know, basically go down on me like we did when we was kids. And we all just looked at each other like, man, what type of freaks this dude on? No, the cousin said, that's right, y'all. Freaky Freddy didn't say that. The cousin said that to Freaky Freddy. So we all looking at each other and we like, hold on, man, tell me this dude was just playing. But the way he said it, it didn't sound like he was playing. So then he comes out the cell and everybody just looking at him. And he was like, what's up, y'all? Y'all wanna run a couple trade games? Now the trade games was basically you just betting for future trades. Me particularly, if I'm only betting future trades really for the hamburger and Friday. That's it. Other than that, I don't really eat nothing off them trades. Except for the breakfast trades when they give you boiled eggs. I get them and I make a cook up or whatever. But anyway, he come out there and I'm like, no, I'm good. And he just asked everybody like, yo, can I gamble? Can we do trades or whatever the situation is? And he even went so desperate to ask the cats like, yo, I'll clean your cell for a week if I lose, right? But nobody wasn't messing with him. So he go back to the cell. And he go to Freaky Freddy. Well, you know, Freaky Freddy real name is Frederick, right? So he go back to his cousin Frederick and like, hey, let me get a couple items so I can gamble with. I'll get you back. So Freaky Freddy like, yeah, man, go here. So he give him about 10 packs of noodle and he come right back over there. He get the gambler with it. He loses, right? He goes back to Freaky Freddy and get 10 more, right? Come back, win some, lose some, and he ultimately lose, right? He go back to the cell. Freaky Freddy like, no, I'm cutting you off. I'm gonna cut you off, man. So they in there arguing, right? And he say it again. So at this point, we like, yeah, man, this dude is weird, man. This dude, like, Yeah, this dude is really weird, but hey, that's his cousin. They did what they did when they was younger. It's messed up. Maybe Freaky Freddy like this because of him, doing what they did when they was kids or whatever. But I made it a point, and I told my homeboys, like, hey, y'all, we ain't dealing with this dude. Don't accept no money from him. Don't gamble with him. This dude is a real creepy dude, man. We just stay away from that dude, man. If he tried to do business, just cut him off. And I was just thinking of a reason to smash him off the door, put him on the glass, get him up out of there. Cause I'm like, man, I don't know, y'all. It's just one of them things where kids get violated. Even Freaky Freddy, Freaky Freddy. I don't know exactly how old they was when this happened, but I don't know. I just picture Freaky Freddy being a child being violated by his cousin. And it just really made me upset. But I didn't have the grounds, to do anything to this man yet. Right? So I just say I'm just waiting for an excuse to do something to him. And it wasn't me trying to be a vigilante or be Freaky Freddy war daddy or anything. But I don't know. When I hear about kids being involved, I just get upset. And hey, it is what it is. So later on that night, after we locked down, they in there arguing. And we all trying to sleep, but it's getting good. The conversation and the argument is really getting good. So Freaky Freddy like, hey, you gonna pay me what you owe me. I don't give a fuck, we family or not. Right? Like Freaky Freddy is going off on him. I guess his cousin told him like he ain't paying him nothing. He ain't paying him spit. Right? So they just arguing back and forth. Now they bringing up personal. Now they bringing up the past again. Now they reopening and snatching off the band-aid of old trauma and old wounds. Right? They put all their family business out. Apparently the granddaddy, like the whole family is a whole bunch of sexual deviants, right? Like the whole family is messed up, jacked up from the grandfather on down. A whole generation of decades of messed up men in this family, right? So apparently the granddaddy was touching on all his daughters, right? And then when the daughters would have kids, he would touch on the grandkids, even the boys, right? And he was the type of grandfather that would be at the Thanksgiving dinners, be at the Easter dinners, sitting at the head of the table. The aunties and cousins is telling the other kids that don't go sit on his lap, don't go around him. He nasty, this nasty grandpa. Making a joke out of it, knowing what he has done to multiple people in the family. This is where Freaky Freddy come from. Generation of sexual deviancy, right? So we hear them talking, and he brings it back up, and he was like, man, why did you do that to me? This is what Freaky Freddy said. He like, why did you do that to me, man? And he was like, man, you was older than me, like you didn't know. So, we was just blah, 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 which I'm not going to say on this video because it's too explicit, right? So they just arguing back and forth. And Freaky Freddy was like, listen, man, you going to pay me what you owe me. You going to pay what you owe me. And he was like, hey, man, well, you going to have to get it in blood. Now, when he said that, it don't matter what country you in. Look, let me start that over. When somebody say you gonna get it in blood, it don't matter what continent you on, what country you on, what state you in, what city you in, what town you in, what village you in, what community you in, right? When somebody say, man, get it in blood, that means it's about to get violent, it's about to get physical, or somebody might lose their life. if the other person don't back down and back down quick, right? So when he said that, Freaky Freddy was like, get it back in blood. He was like, yeah. He said, all right, say less. I'm assuming Freaky Freddy now just laid down and went to sleep, right? Or about to go to sleep. Because I didn't hear Freaky Freddy no more that night until about 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, Freaky Freddy got the bottom rack and his cousin got the top rack, right? So I'm knocked out. And when I say I'm knocked out, you rarely get to sleep good in prison. But for some reason, I slept good this night, right? Until I heard, man, get off me. Get off me. Man, get off me, man. What is you doing? Get off me, man. What is you doing, man? Get off me. And then it got quiet. Now, when I heard that, I'm like, man, what the because I didn't know what cell it was coming from. And it's rare that things like that happens in our pod, right? Normally, if Freaky Freddy is doing something with somebody, you don't really hear it, right? And plus, he usually do that in the daytime away from everybody. But this was different. So now I'm up and I don't hear nothing else again, right? So at the count, fast forward at the count, right? Freaky Freddy go to the shower. And me being nosy, because I didn't see his cousin, me being nosy, because it was on my mind, like, man, what the heck happened? Freaky Freddy goes to the shower, right? And then his cousin come follow him. He come follow him right in there, right? So I was like, oh, I guess he all right. And then I hear it again. Man, what is you doing, man? Hey, what is you doing? Now, he wasn't screaming and hollering. I was just over there by the shower, right? Waiting to get in the shower because a line done formed, right, to get in the shower. Now, they is in there fighting. You can clearly hear them fighting. So all I'm thinking is, oh, they must be fighting because of what happened last night. They got to be fighting because of what the cousin owed him. He said he ain't give him nothing, and I guess he brought up, you know, what happened when they was kids or whatever, and he told them get in the blood. So I guess they in there fighting, getting it in blood. But then, you know, the bumping and, you know, the punches and stuff turned to something else. Yeah. It went from grunting to stop, man, what you doing? Man, what are you doing? And to, man, stop. The person that was saying, man, stop, and start sounding like he was in distress was the cousin. Listen, yo, I don't want to continue this story because, you know, and I know a lot of people that be at work be listening to my stories, and, you know, I know y'all want me to drag these stories out, but my spirit don't even feel right even telling y'all this story. So I'm going to have to end it real soon. Long story short, y'all. Freaky Freddy walked out, right? He walked out like nothing happened. He go to his cell. He put his clothes on. I'm next to go into the shower, so I'm like, all right, man, this dude taking up too much time. So I go in. I bust a right, bust a left, and there go the showers. His cousin is right there under the stall, knocked out unconscious. And he's bleeding from you know where. I go to the farthest stall, wash up, and get up out of there. It wasn't my business. It wasn't my concern. Let me tell y'all something. Freaky Freddy, that day on, I looked at him differently. Oh, I didn't feel sorry for him at all. I didn't. I just realized that this man has no bounds. This dude don't care if you family or not. He only got one thing on his mind. The crazy thing is, I wondered, did Freaky Freddy try to mount him throughout the night when we heard, "Get off me, what you doing, get off me"? Did he try to push up on him then? Freaky Freddy is a super apex predator, like a dog. Like dogs, if you breed in dogs, whatever, they would try to mate with their own mother. Freaky Freddy is a dog. Freaky Freddy is an apex predator that know no bounds. I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, so Dante, what happened with the cousin? Well, he eventually got up, washed off, went to the control booth, and said, "Hey, I fear for my life. Can y'all please get me out of here?" And they told him, "Well, you got to tell us what happened. What? Because they don't know that he was just violated by Freaky Freddy." But he was like, "Man, just get me out of here, man, or I'm going to start acting out." So they told him to come on in the control booth. They went up to Freaky Freddy room, packed him out, got him up out of there. Let me tell y'all something. And I shouldn't have to say this, but a lot of you cats gonna end up going to prison anyway. And it is what it is. I thought that, I could save the youth, but nah, in reality, these kids want to go to prison. These kids want to die. And y'all say, "Dante, dang, that's kind of harsh." No, it ain't harsh. Let me tell y'all something. I was at Walmart yesterday, right? Yesterday, me and my wife went to go get some bikes. The whole nine. She got a basket. I got a horn. The whole nine. We went to go buy some bikes, right? To go bike ride. As I'm coming out, there's a black dude in a Tahoe turning like in front of me, right? And then there's another black young dude with dreads that's walking kind of on the side of me, but to the left, far left of me. And I heard what he said. He said, what he say? He was like, just give me a excuse to slide. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that's crazy for him to say that. Like, you that in a rush to die? You that in a rush to go to prison? How about you just go to the prison, bust out the guards' windows, and get a cocktail and throw something, blow up a car or something so you can go to prison? You that so messed up in your life, that your life is that so messed up that you want to kill an innocent man just because he's just driving? And the dude that was in the Tahoe didn't cut him off. He wasn't speeding up. He just looked at him and just said, I heard him. He said, just give me a reason to slide. And all I'm thinking is, man, go get a job, man. Go get a damn job. Go finish fucking school. Go get your GED or something. Because you know this nigga ain't graduate. You know what I'm saying? You got all that evil energy, demonic energy. And I get it now. This is why these kids is killing kids. Talking about just give me a reason to slide. Give yourself, if you know what they say, to be a killer, you gotta be a killer. To be a killer, you gotta kill somebody, right? How about do everybody a favor? And I know this might sound wrong in the mud, but it is what it is, man. These dudes that be just wanting to kill people, whatever, won't you just do the whole world a favor and just go to the bathroom and take your own self out? Spare the world grief because you want to wake up because your life choices got you feeling like you want to take somebody's life. Man, go be productive. Man, go join the army. talking about just give me a reason. It's like, go to the army and be all you can be. That really pissed me off, y'all, when I heard him say that. It really did, because dude looked like he was about 16, 17 years old. Just give me a reason to slide. Go slide back in Walmart and fill out a damn application. Anyway, y'all, my bad for that rant, but man, listen, and I do want to backtrack on one thing. Out of 100 youth that I speak with, I probably save 2 or 3 of them. And that's what matters, right? As long as you can save 1, 2, or 3 people out of 100 each batch, I guess the work is done. But anyway, y'all, I apologize for my little rant. If you ain't subscribed to my new channel, make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to it. Let me know where y'all from in the comment section. And with that, y'all, this prison story is about when my new cellmate snitched on me and got me 6 months in a hole. Now, before we go further with this story, I need for y'all to do me a favor, okay? I know y'all getting tired of me asking, but I just have to, because y'all not doing it automatically. First, I need for y'all to hit the like button. Next, let me know where y'all from in the comment section. Don't be stingy. Just put your city in the comment section, okay? It don't cost you nothing. Then I need for y'all to share this video. If y'all got this video connected to your Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, then share the video. Also, there's a misconception out there. If you want to react to my videos, do it, okay? I will not copyright you. You will not get a copyright strike. I am allowing any and everybody to react to my videos. Just give me the hashtag. Just put hashtag the Donta Show Network. That's all I ask, okay? And with that, y'all, let's get to the story, all right? So, we was on an annual lockdown. So let me let y'all know what an annual lockdown. You don't necessarily, nobody had to get stabbed or somebody got violated, whatever. Every year you get an annual lockdown where, you know, you can be locked down for 2-3 months, right? While they come in there and shake down the whole prison. I'm talking about they got the National Guard coming up in there. They got the state police coming there. They got the special elite force of prison guards coming up in there, and they shaking everything down. I'm talking about they going through everything with a fine tooth comb. So if you got anything out there, right, in the pod, on the yard, in the kitchen, wherever it is, you better sell it, you better trade it, you better do something, because they coming to get it, right? So at this time, Dante was in, how can I put this? Okay, well, it's past the statute of limitations, so I guess I could talk about it. So at this time, y'all, I was a part of the cell phone game, right? So basically, I had somebody bringing in cell phones. And I had 3 phones left that I did not get off, right? So at this time, I was selling cell phones for $1,500. So that's what? 15, 3,000, 4,500. I have $4,500 still out there, right? That could be potentially sold, right? So the way I was doing things, with $1,500, I would just have people have them reach out to my girl, and they would send her the $1,500. Whether they family or friends, whoever out in the free world, they just send the $1,500 to her on Cash App or whatever, and I get them the phone and the charger, right? So boom, one of my homeboys worked in the kitchen. Now this is a big old telltale sign that we about to go on the annual lockdown, because when they come in with the on a Sunday evening truck, when they bring the prison supplies or whatever, if there's a lot of styrofoam cups and styrofoam to-go plates type thing, and a whole bunch of apples and bread and peanut butter and bologna, you're going on that annual lockdown. It's either finna happen that next day or the following day, wherever it is. So my homeboy let everybody know, like, hey, yo, we got that shipment in, and yeah, y'all get ready, right? So me knowing that, I'm trying to get these phones off, right? Because I know if I get caught with a phone, hey, if you get caught with a phone in prison at that time, man, they would have hit you with probably a 5 year, another 5 years on top of what you doing, right? Because, you know, some people are like, well, what's the danger of having a cell phone in prison? Oh, there's a lot of reasons it's dangerous. Number one, you know, you can contact your victims, or you can contact the victim's family, or you can, you know, do direct hits on people. You can do all type of evil stuff with them phones, right? But for the most part, you know, cats that would do the right thing by the phones, they just call their loved ones, talk to their kids, talk to their wives, you know, keep that relationship established, you know. But, you know, if you get caught with a cell phone, you might want to hang it up. And I had 3 extra ones, right, including my person. So I had 4. So I was potentially looking at 20 years, right? So I said, let me go ahead and get these off, right? So I know now at this time, my homeboy, he let me know about, you know, that shipment that came in. So in my head, I said, okay, we got 1, 2, maybe 3 days max before they come. So I instantly went out before the word went out through the whole prison that we about to go into annual lockdown. I said, hey, y'all, I'm doing a fire sale. 500 for a cell phone. What's up? What's up? Cats got to scrambling. They were scrambling. Hey, D, I got that, D. I got you. Nah, listen, it's going to be first come, first serve, right? I'm not holding, I ain't doing no IOUs. Come with the 500, bam, boom, right? Because that's a super deal. But I already knew that, you know, I just needed to get them off, right? And plus, they only cost me $50 anyway. So yeah, I was 50xing them cell phones, right? So anyway, I ended up getting all 3 of them off, right? Boom. So no problem. 2 days go by, everybody on lockdown, right? Everybody is on lockdown. I got my stove up. I got about 50 packs of ramen noodles. I figured, okay, if we gonna be on this lockdown for a month, so there's 30 days, 31 days, right? So if I got about 50 noodles, I could eat, boom, I could eat for a month, and then I could have at least 20 noodles on the side, boom. I got all my Pepsis, my Mountain Dews, got my summer sausages, all that. I'm good. Dante good. I'm good for this lockdown. Plus, I ain't got no celly, right? Now, not having a celly is a really good thing when it comes to these annual lockdowns, because number one, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got to worry about you going to sleep and somebody busting you upside the head, because you don't really know this man. This man could have mental problems, or this man could just be in his feelings for whatever reason and just snap and try to take your life or whatever. So it's a blessing whenever you can have a cell to yourself, right? So at this time, Dante had a cell to himself. So we knew that this annual lockdown was going to be for maybe about a month, right? Because the last annual lockdown, it was about 3 weeks, almost a month though, right? 3 weeks and a couple days or whatever. So we was already ready for it, right? So when they had it locked down, I was ready. I was good, right? 3rd day of the lockdown. Dante, stand up. What's up? About to get a new celly. So I'm looking at the dude. He looked like a little young dude. He looked like he was, actually, I was young around that time too. I was 24. Dude looked like he was maybe 18, 19. I never caught his age, but dude was about 18, 19 or whatever. So I stand up, get cuffed up, go to the back of the cell, right? He come in, they uncuff him. He's standing right there. I bag up, they uncuff me. Boom. That's the procedure right there. Whenever you get a new cellmate, you got to get cuffed up, go to the back of the cell until they come in or whatever. So I'm like, what's up? He like, what's up, OG? Now for some reason, I don't know, he thought maybe I was older or whatever. Maybe that was just a sign of respect, calling me OG, even though I was young, my dang self, but I was older than him, right? So I said, nothing much, what's up? He was like, nah. I said, where you coming from? You a transfer or whatever? He said, yeah, I just came from Stanley. I said, you just came from Stanley prison? He was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay. Hey, what you in here for? He like, man, armed robbery. I said, how long they give you? He was like, man, they gave me 12 years. I said, let me guess, you used a gun? He was like, yep. I said, see, if you would have not had a gun, they would have probably gave you 2 to 5 years. But you know that gun made it an aggravated robbery. And whenever they put that aggravated on there, it's an enhancement charge, right? So anybody out, no, let me not give no type of advice, okay? Just don't commit no crimes, y'all. All right? But anyway, so he showed me his paperwork. I'm going through it. It wasn't no funny business in there. So I said, all right. I said, cool. I said, I noticed you ain't got nothing. He said, nah, man, dude, I'm fresh off the boat. Fresh. I ain't got nothing, OG. I said, all right, well, check this out. I do cook-ups, every other day, and you welcome to it. In this prison, right now we on an annual lockdown. I'm pretty sure they told you that already or whatever, but they give us either peanut butter and jelly sandwich, with an apple and a carton of milk, or 2 boiled eggs, a bologna sandwich, and a carton of milk, and they give us a water bottle also, right? So that's the basics. I said, I'll tell you what, I like the boiled eggs, right? And if you give me all your boiled eggs for the rest of the month, and you can eat what I cook up, cool? And he was like, yeah, that's a bet. That's a bet. I mean, I don't eat boiled eggs anyway. So I said, all right, bet, cool. So, I tell him the cell rules, like straight up. I'm like, all right, listen. So I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but when you pee, you got 2 choices. Either you gotta sit down when you pee, or if you gonna pee, get real up close on the toilet so you don't pee in there and it comes and hit the floor, because the way they made these toilets, right, it got a lot of backsplash. So I ain't trying to be funny or disrespect you or treat you like no woman or nothing, but you have to pee to sit down if you can't control that, because a lot of pee would get actually on the floor right there. You probably would never notice. And as you see, my cell is super clean. He said, yeah, I respect that, OG. I respect that. I said, also, if you have to pass gas, what you going to have to do is get up and, have your backside towards the edge of the cell blowing out, right? Because I can't be up in here with no other man passing gas. And, you know what I mean? We living in this confined space already. So if you got to pass gas, just get up, put your ass on the cell and blow it that way. He said, okay, I respect that, OG. And I said, how long have you been doing time? He was like, man, this is my 7th month. I said, well, all right. I said, well, listen, we in here together, right? He said, yeah. I said, I know you got needs or whatever and urges, because I know you're a young cat. But if you need some personal time, you know what I mean? If you need personal time or whatever, just let me know, and I go to the cell I go to the bars over there, and you put the white sheet up and you go to the toilet. You just stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Because we in a confined space, whatever. And I said, and also outside of, when this annual lockdown happened, if you need time in the cell for personal reasons, whatever, let me know and I'll be out of the cell. You know what I mean? So, but in the meantime, if you trying to do that, it ain't gonna happen. Not right now. Not while we on this annual lockdown, because that's kind of weird for if you trying to do something like that. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I understand that, OG. I said, I bet. And I said, when the last time you talked to your loved ones, your people? He was like, man, I ain't talked to them in so long, bro. I ain't talked to my people in almost 3 months, bro. I said, oh, okay. Now let me tell y'all something. Maybe I was stupid. Maybe it was me being stupid. Maybe I just felt. I mean, the vibe that I got from this dude is that, he was in learning mode. You know what I'm saying? Trying to soak up all the game that I could give him in a good way so he can learn how to navigate through prison, right? Because I guess he looked at me as a hardened convict that knew how to program a certain way that he took a liking to. And that was my fault, right? So I told him, like, hey, listen, I got a jack. And he like, what was that? I said, I got a phone, man. He was like, you got a phone? I said, yeah, I got a phone, G. He was like, can I use it to call my mom? I said, yeah, we had to do it when lights out. All right. And he was like, all right, bet. So I let him use the phone, y'all. Now, for the last 3 days, right, no problems. I let him use the phone, bam, boom, bam, bam, right, no problems. This is where it got real greasy. The 4th day, he actually used the phone, right, and this in the daytime, right. Now the night prior, he got into it with some chick, right, and I told him to tell his people to never call this phone. You know what I'm saying? Never ever call this phone. The chick kept calling the phone. When I cut the phone on, it automatically started ringing, right? Automatically started ringing. So I was kind of irritated when I was going through the phone, and he just kept asking, like, hey, can I use the phone? Can I use the phone? And I told him, yo, chill. Typically, on the real, if I let somebody use the phone, they were giving me something. Either 2 packs of noodles, 2 things of Mountain Dews. They giving me something. You understand? The envelope, something. This ain't everything costs in prison. Everything. So me showing him all this love, I guess he just thought that, I don't know. Like I said, in prison, you give a cat an inch, he'll take a whole mile, right? And this is what he was doing. So I guess he felt entitled. So I guess me not charging him to use the phone or whatever, because he's my cellie, and I don't know this dude or whatever, I guess he got some resentment towards me when I told him no. It's just like out here in the real world. You could tell a nigga yes 100 times. The moment you tell him no, you did him wrong. He forgot all about them 100 yeses that you did for him, right? And I guess this why I assumed what he did to me, right? So I told him no, because I was irritated and I seen all them missed calls, right? Now he down there mumbling under his breath. Man, I really need to talk to my girl, dog. Can I please use the phone, man? Because I'm like going through some shit, bro. I'm going through some shit, bro. I'm like, hey, man, listen. Look, you can't use the phone because I told you not to have your people calling this phone, and it's over 20 missed calls on this phone.
He like, yeah, I know, man. I told her that, but man, she wasn't listening. She wasn't listening. But bro, can I please, man? Cause we was like in the middle of an argument. I said, no, that's out. That ain't happening. That's done, right? So he ended up mumbling under his breath. I wasn't paying him no type of attention, right? The next day, 9 o'clock, the COs come through. They're like, hey, y'all, if y'all want to get in the shower, y'all hurry up. We doing showers. We finna go block to block. Finna do showers, right? Now, I know a lot of y'all was wondering, like, with Dante, when did y'all take showers? You niggas was in there stanky or something? No. What we was doing in there was bird baths. So what you do is you put your white sheet up, you get over there by the toilet, you cut your water on, you strip down naked, you get your bar of soap, get your washcloth, and you just lather up and just take a bird bath, man. Same thing with just less water or whatever. So that's how we was programming. And I know a couple of you weirdos gonna be like, oh, Dante was standing in there naked with soap on his body. Man, hey, whatever, man. But anyway, so we can finally now get in the shower. So I instantly jump up like, okay, bet. So I get up, grab my Irish Spring soap, right, get my towel, get my shower shoes, and I'm out, right? And he following suit. So I'm out there, you know, cats coming to me like, hey, Dante, you think I could get A, B, C, and D? I got you back on lockdown. They was asking me, can we get some conversation? Can I hit them off with a pack of noodles, a honey bun? Because I was the stove man, and cats like, man, come Dante, I'm hurting, bruh. I'm hurting. You know, can I get this A, B, C, and D? You really can't pass nothing like, you know what I'm saying? You really can't pass stuff, you know, on an annual lockdown. So I'm telling cats like, nah, not really. I mean, what I'm going to have. And you never know, man. Cats might be trying to pull that check-in thing. You know what I'm talking about? They know they owe you. They know you can't do nothing about it, so they go check in or cause a scene or some drama to get transferred. So I learned my lesson 2 years ago when that's a whole different situation. But anyway, so I jump in the shower, right? I do my thing. I get out, right? I go back to the cell. He's still out there. Now, I'm laying down on the bed, just chilling, right? 10 minutes later, he comes in. He got this look on his face like this, I don't know, like this guilty look. So I'm like, what's up? What happened? And he was like, oh, nothing. I said, you sure you good? You straight? Something? Anything happened at the showers or something? He said, no, bro, ain't nothing happened. I said, you sure? Cause I can feel it off him, man. I can feel like this. I don't know, y'all. It's like, I don't know, like some nervousness vibe. It's like this vibration was coming off him. Negative vibration. And I'm like, man, nah, something wrong. In my head, I'm thinking somebody tried to try him in the shower. Somebody tried to punk him. So something happened. He could not just tell me nothing happened because something happened. So I'm like, bro, like, man, you sure you good? He like, yeah, man, I'm good. So I'm like, all right. So then I tell him like, hey, I'm gonna let you use the phone tonight, man. And he was like, oh no, I'm good, I'm straight. Now when he said that, I said, yeah, something happened. Cause dude something off, man. Dude, he want to get on that phone. Cause how he was acting last night, want to talk to his girl. Yeah, something had to happen. So I'm like, hey man, you sure you straight? Because you know we sellies, and if anybody try to get at you, so you need to let me know so that can be handled. He was like, no, 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 OG, ain't nothing happened, bro. Ain't nothing happened, bro. I'm good, man. I'm just in my thoughts right now. So now I'm like, yeah, something happened. So I ain't finna sit up there and beat it out of him. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Right? So they hit the lights, 9 o'clock. Boom. He like, hey, OG, I'ma turn it in. I'm going to bed early. I said, all right. So Dante get up, go to my locker, go to my Bible, and pull out my cell phone. Jump back on the bunk, call my old lady, and we kicking it, right? About 5 minutes will go by. And it happened so fast. Get up, get up, get up. Don't move, don't move, don't move. Right? It was 6 guards. I couldn't do nothing, y'all. They had me dead to rights. Cell phone in hand. Do y'all hear me? Cell phone in hand. When they rushed that cell, now peep the scene. Dante at the bottom bunk. I'm laying on my side. So when I see them at the door, don't move, and they started rolling the door back, I instantly jumped up. Now I had a flip phone, right? I was moving so fast, I hit my head on the top rack, right? Boom. I snapped the phone in half and dove to the toilet and dropped it in there. Them guards was hitting me. They was kicking me. I got it in the toilet and I managed to get it flushed. Hey, y'all, where's the proof? They whooped me out. Whooped me. They whooped me like I was a 5-year-old child, bad child, cutting up in elementary. So they dragged me on up out of there, took me in the elevator, beat me up a little bit more, took me to the hole, right? I was in the hole for about 4 days, right? About 4 days. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know, after my wounds healed and, you know, I got my mind right, whatever, I'm like, well, okay, they ain't get nothing. So the max I'm going to have to do is, probably however long this annual lockdown is, and then maybe another month. Wrong. Now, when you in solitary confinement, you ain't got nothing but your thoughts. Nothing. Right? So I'm laying there and I'm like, man, hold up. Why would they hit my cell? For and the way that they came, they was coming for something. And the only thing they could come for is drugs, but I don't deal drugs, right? I don't manufacture weapons. So, I mean, the cell phone, right? Then it dawned on me. I know why they was here. Because of my cellie. My cellie must have been feeling some type of way when I told him he couldn't use the phone. So I guess with the shower time, I guess he betrayed me like Judas did Jesus, right? He had that look on his face. I told you, I knew it was something. How he came back to the cell, how he had this nervous look on his face like he just did something foul. Now, I can't say that he did it, that he snitched on me 100%. It could have been a random shakedown. It could have been one of them cats out there that came at me, said, hey, Donta, you think I can hold A, B, C, and D until the lockdown over, and I denied them? Who knows? But if I was a betting man and logically thinking, I think my cellmate ratted me out for not allowing him to use that phone. Now, they end up hitting me with all type of charges. They were just throwing on the wall, seeing what could stick. Long story short, they hit me with resisting and assaulting an officer. You said, well, Dante, was you fighting back? No, I wasn't fighting back. I couldn't fight back. These dudes had me, well, we'll leave that out. But I'm just going to put it this way. I couldn't fight back. One of these COs that was whipping me out ended up spraining his finger or whatever, right? From punching on me or whatever. Sprang his finger, or maybe another guard that stepped on his finger or something and broke his finger, whatever the case is, but they charged me with it, right, for assaulting an officer. But hey, it is what it is, whatever. So they end up giving me 6 months in the hole.
So you got this dude named Jermaine. Jermaine is 18 years old. His mother had him when she was 13. So if my math is correct, when this incident took place, the mother was 31 years old and he was 18. Now, Jermaine and his mother had an awkward relationship. Number one, Jermaine's mother was just a child, raising a child. So she didn't even know no better, right? So one day when he turns 12 years old, the mother, dealing with her stress and anxiety, was blowing trees. And when she was blowing trees, y'all know what blowing trees is. And I'm talking about marijuana for the people that got freaky minds. But she was blowing trees and he walked in there and she was like, "You want to hit?" And he was like, man, I've been doing this since I was 10 years old. So she was like, oh, okay. So they got the blowing trees together. They was blowing smoke clouds to each other and all that, right? Now, keep in mind, y'all, this woman, when he was 12 years old, she was 25 at the time. Yeah, about 25 at the time. So anyway, as they would start smoking together and then eventually start drinking together. Now, one would look at them and be like, wouldn't even know that this is son and mama and son duo right here, right? So eventually, the mama, she had boyfriends here and there coming in, coming out the house, whatever. And her being so young and naive, older guys that she would mess around with for money would beat her up. And, he would try to fight and this and that. So eventually he became her protector, right? And I guess that made their bond even closer. Now, this is where this story is about to take a real serious, dangerous turn. Now, listen, I'm not going to draw out the story because I notice a lot of y'all be talking about, oh, Dante, just get to the point. You always sidetrack it. Come on, man. You going to stretch a 5-minute story out to 30 minutes. All right, y'all. Well, you know what? Let's put a pause right there. Let's do a poll right quick in the comment section. Do y'all want me to start doing 5-minute stories? Because I can do it. Do y'all want me to start doing 15-minute stories? Or do y'all want me to continue to do 30-minute stories? So it's up to y'all. Let me know in the comment section. All right. Anyway, so I guess they bonding through trauma. So the mama throws a party one day. And the party actually jumping. It's in the hood. Y'all already know how them hood parties be. It's jumping. I'm talking about it's jumping. There's alcohol flowing. There's weed smoke in the air. They in there popping. They doing it all, and when I say they doing it all, they in there like really doing it all. Like bathroom action in a backyard action type deal. You know what I mean? So anyway, the mama ex-boyfriend end up coming in there, and he's like being really aggressive with her, like, yeah, baby, like touching on her, grabbing on her, basically trying to get her to go into the bedroom with him. So he just busts up in there like, yeah, come on, baby, let's, my bad, and all this and that, come on. So she's like, no, get off me, and this and that, and that type of get down. So dude, like really like yanking her, like he trying to violate her, like trying to grab her aggressively. And this look, this is her house, this is her party, right? And he basically trying to drag her into the bedroom. So the son get wind of it. One of his homeboys come to him like, hey man, this guy in there trying to do something to your mom. So he like, what? So he hurry up and run over there, and the mama's like halfway in her bedroom while the guy trying to drag her in there, and the son just come out of nowhere like, bow, punch you dead smack in the face, right? So the guy and the son get to fighting. So the son, he can't beat this grown man. So the son started losing, and then the mama jump on the guy back, and then some other people in the party start jumping on too. So they end up whipping dude out. I'm talking about they beat dude down. So they throw him out the party because he unconscious, right? So the mama like, yo, the party over with, y'all. Everybody go home. The party over with, right? Now keep in mind, the mama still is intoxicated. The son, he's intoxicated. Everybody intoxicated, but eventually everybody started leaving, right? So y'all know how these house parties is. The house is trash. You got the red cups everywhere. And I bet some of you people listen. I bet y'all be them trifling ones that be leaving the red cups all on the ground, all over the yard, all over the floor and stuff. Hold on, I have to give y'all this side story right here. I promise I'm gonna get back. I remember when I was 16, right, man, we were so degenerate as teenagers, man. I remember we went to this hood party, and long story short, I end up stealing a microwave out of this house. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but it was a house party, and the whole house was open. It was like 100 to 150 people at this house party, and yes, it was in the hood, and yes, Dante stole a microwave. I don't know, sorry. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So anyway, so he's sitting there, and the mama like, man, we'll just clean this up tomorrow, man. We'll just clean this up tomorrow. So they sitting there on the couch, and she like, you wanna smoke? He like, yeah, let's smoke. So they roll another one up, right? So they smoking, and he just looking at his mama. Now his mama done passed out from the alcohol and whatever else she took, but this weed really just took her over the top. So now she just laying there, she sleep, and he's sitting there, he just looking at her, and then he get this wave of emotions that came over him, and so he sit next to her, and now he just looking at her, and then he give her a kiss on the cheek. She doesn't wake up. And so then he give her another kiss on her cheek, but he getting close to her lip, right? So then he gives her a kiss on her lips, and then she like open her eyes and look, and she like, what you doing? And he was like, oh nothing. I was just giving you a kiss goodnight. Now listen, he ain't gave his mama no kiss goodnight since he was probably 3 years old at best. This dude 18 now. So she like, okay, I'm finna go to bed, right? So he like, I'm gonna help you get up there, cause she at this point she's stumbling and stuff, right? So he walks her to the bedroom, and he started taking off her clothes. Now, when I say take off her clothes, he wasn't tearing it off. He was just, helping her he unbuckled her pants and stuff, and took off her shirt or whatever, and she got in the bed. So he leaves out, or he goes sit on the couch. Now, I think this is where, well, I guess Satan been entered, his spirit, but this is where Satan entered, this guy. So he comes back in the room, right? And he basically get butt naked in the dark. Then he slide up next to his mama in the bed, and well, this YouTube, so I can't, go into great detail, but he end up, on top of her, and she like, what are you doing? And remember, she's still drunk. She really can't fight him off, and he end up doing the unthinkable to his own mama. Now listen, y'all, this ain't his stepmama. This ain't his godmama. This is the woman that gave birth to him at the age of 13. And now he in here, yeah. So anyway, after the deed was done, he get up and he leave out. And the mama still in her, drunken state, in her high state, but she know what just happened. She has no doubt of what just happened. So she just laying there and she's weak. And she just really can't. So she's like, oh my, did this really just happen? So she ended up just going to sleep because she can't even do anything. So he go to his room and he lay down and he go to sleep, right? The next day, she get up and she start cleaning up. And eventually he get up and he say, hey, ma. And she just look at him. And she like, hey. And then he was like, you all right? And she was like, did you come in my room last night? Because she's still trying to rationalize, like, did he really do what he did? He was like, yeah, I came in there to tuck you in. And she was like, oh, okay, did anybody come over here last night that you know of? Like, did somebody, like, sleep with me, like, spent the night with me? He was like, nah. She was like, oh, okay. So, it was, she was really trying to, like, kind of rationalize the whole thing, but deep down inside, she know exactly what happened. But then she was saying to herself, like, maybe I just dreamed it, and I was so drunk and high, I was out of my mind. Maybe I just imagined this whole thing. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Here's the problem. Y'all. 8 months will go by. Now, some of y'all are going to say, oh, Dante, this cap. 8 months will go by. And she got a bad stomach cramp. I'm talking about bad stomach cramp, right? She ended up going to the doctor. So guess what, y'all? This woman is 8 months pregnant. This woman's 8 months pregnant. So she like, how the heck, well, am I pregnant? I didn't have no signs. I've been having my period. What? How the heck am I pregnant? Now, listen. Outside of her son doing the unthinkable to her, she has been with multiple guys, and she's been with maybe about 5 guys between that time with her. Well, 2 weeks before her son did anything with her, up until, let's say, 3 months after her son did something with her. So really, anybody could be the baby daddy. Anybody can be the baby daddy. But anyway, so she get the news, and the doctor talking to her and explaining to her like, yeah, this could happen. There's a lot of women, and this is true, y'all. Y'all can look this up. A lot of women can be carrying all the way up into the due date and don't know that they pregnant until they feel like they gotta do a number two or something. Then the baby come out. Imagine that. But anyway, so she said to herself like, "Dang, I can't have no other kid. What the? I'm 8 months pregnant." And then she got to thinking. She got to counting back like, "Dang, wait a minute. Who could be my baby daddy?" Because she really did not know who could her baby daddy is. And she always had this nagging feeling in the back of her mind. Like, did my son do the unthinkable to me? So she got to thinking like, oh snap. It could be my son. If he really did what I think he did to me, this could be my son baby. Now hold up, y'all. Let's try to rationalize this. If this is her son's baby, how does that work? Do that make him? Wait a minute. I can't even verbalize what that relationship would be. So if that is her son's baby, so he'll be the dad and she would be the mom, but she would be the mom and grandmama? Do that make, you know what I'm saying? In the comment section, please clarify this for me, because my brain is too small to comprehend that. So this child, if this is her son's child, that make her the mother and the grandmother, right? Okay, I'm just checking. So, and then what would happen if that child has a kid? Would that make the grandmother? I'm sorry, y'all. My brain can't even comprehend this. Anyway, so she's sitting there and she like, I can't keep this baby. There's no way I can't keep this baby. I got to get rid of it. And she talks to the doctor, and the doctor like, you too far. You can't do that. She was like, I can't have this baby, man. There's no way. So she was like, is the baby healthy? And he was like, yeah, the baby is healthy. I did the ultrasound, and yeah, the baby, she like, because there's incest right there. So she thinking like, dude, they got all his fingers, all his toes, and everything. He was like, yes, the baby is healthy. The doctor like, why you? I get this as a shock, but why you like really pressed on like the genetics aspects of this child or whatever? And she like, oh, I don't know. I just want to be sure. Now here go a little education for y'all right quick. Incest, just because the baby can come out, uh, I really can't even say physically normal, because there might be some underlying and inside organ issues also. But that baby can be mentally messed up too. You know what I'm saying? It could really be mentally messed up. So she thinking about all this stuff. So she like, yeah, I can't have this baby, man. There's no way. So she leaves and she go home, and she tell her son to come here. And he like, well, hey ma. She's like, I gotta talk to you about something. He like, what is it, ma? She was like, when I threw that party 8 months ago, are you sure nobody came into my room and nobody spent the night with me? He was like, no, ma. I mean, we got into that fight with your ex-boyfriend, but, uh, nothing happened. And she was like, I need for you to tell me the truth. Tell me the truth right now. He like, what's up, ma? Did you have sex with me? It was like, she said, why you not saying no? He like, man, I ain't, I ain't gonna lie. I, I don't know. Yeah, I did. And the look that she had on her face was a look that, the look was like, I don't know. It like she had like this horrified look on her face, like a horrified, saddened look. Like, are you serious? He like, yeah, I don't know why I did it. I don't know. I don't know why, ma. So she was like, so you. She said the R word. I can't say it on here. I'm just gonna say the unthinkable. So she said, so you so you blanked me. I'll just say blank, y'all. So you blanked me. He was like, no, ma, I didn't. No, I ain't do that. She said, why would you do that to me? I'm your mother. He like, I don't know, ma. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know, ma. She was like, you are sick. Did you know that I'm pregnant? He was like, oh, you are? She was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I am pregnant. You are sick. We you can't. We don't do that. So he like, oh well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry. She's like, why did you do that? And he like, I don't know, I don't know. So they just sitting there, right? And he like, man, I don't know. I don't know, ma. I just don't know. I'm sorry. So she was like, sorry. You know what? I gotta go. I gotta go. Listen, y'all. And I won't. If you get anything from this story, this really for most of the people that watch my channel are grown ups. But I would really appreciate for you grown ups that listen to my story is to share these videos with the kids, with the teenagers, whether it's a young girl or young boy. Because let's just keep it real, there is young girls out here that is doing the do at young ages. Let's get our heads out the sand. Number one, I believe that you should not have sex before marriage. When you're a teenager and you're a young kid like that, at the age of 13, that means this girl been messing around since she was 12 years old. A lot of this stuff goes on in the hood. Actually, this stuff goes on everywhere. It's just not in the hood. But when you don't watch your child, when you don't watch your kids, these is the results of what can and will happen. What is your 12-year-old daughter? What is she's out? What is going on in your life as a parent that you're not aware that your 12-year-old daughter is basically getting piped down? And then the next year she has a baby when she's 13 years old. Now that's bone chilling right there. Where's the parent supervision at? What are you doing as a parent? We ain't even gonna go there. Anyway, let this be a real cautionary tale. And for somebody out there that might be saying, oh, this video ain't real, you know what? Kiss my ass, because it's real.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Donta Show Network Storytime. Today, as y'all can see with the thumbnail, I'm going to tell y'all a story about my homeboy Tony Jones, right? That ended up getting sent to prison for life without the possibility of parole for popping somebody over a Little Caesars pizza. Now, before we get to the story, I need for y'all to do me a favor, okay? Just do me a favor, all right? It don't cost you nothing to stop tripping, all right? I ain't asking for no money or nothing. But what I need for y'all to do, I need for y'all to type in Flint,
Michigan in the comment section. Or if you cats can't spell, just put 810 in the comment section. Do that for your big partner, Dante. Now let's get to it. Now, before I tell y'all the prison story, I gotta let y'all know what happened in the streets and what led Tony Jones to go to prison. Now, before we go on, Tony already told me I can tell this story, so here it go. So, as y'all know, every Tuesday we get new inmates, right? Now, at this time, y'all, Dante was in the prison law library. So, I got tired of, being in prison. So I said, you know what? The only way I'm going to get out of here is if I get myself out of here, right? So I'm in the law library doing my thing, right? So somebody say, hey, Dante. Now, in prison, you get used to a lot of people's voices, right? But this voice right here, I didn't recognize at all. So I'm like, who that? Now, he's yelling my name from outside of the library, right? So I'm like, who that? He like, man, it's Tony. This Tony Jones. I said, TJ? He like, yeah. So I get up, I'm like, man, where you at? Because I hear his voice, but I don't see him. So he step in. And I'm like, oh, what's up, TJ? What's good? He like, man, they told me you was down here at the library. What's up? I said, man, hold on, man. What you doing in prison? And how long you been here? He said, man, I just rolled in. I said, all right, man, what you do to get here, bro? He said, man, it's a long story, right? So we sat down at the table, y'all, and this is where the story began. Now, hold on, y'all. Right now, I'm eating some Wendy's. I got some chili, and I got a large Coke, and I got some crackers, right? And so y'all got to excuse me because I'm hungry. So just give me a hot second, all right? And just chill out, y'all. Hold up. Hold on, y'all. I'm hungry. Hold up. Okay. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Hey. Wendy's chili is the best. Right? So, all right. So he said, back in 2008, right? This is about the time that when I moved to Atlanta, right? From Flint to Atlanta. He said back in 2008, him and the old crew was together. And he said that, he was tired of robbing. He was tired of stealing. He was tired of living trifling. So he said he went out and started putting in job applications. So he said nobody would call him back. Nobody called him back. So he said, all right, this is going to be the last place I stop at is Little Caesars. So he said he go to Little Caesars and he talked to the managers like, hey, my name is Tony Jones and I'm just looking for a job. Anything can help. And the manager said, yeah, I'll hire you. So, the manager told him to come in tomorrow. We'll train you, right? So he said, all right, bet. Hold on, y'all. Now look, I'm eating. Let me hawk down some of this chili right quick. Hold up. And y'all just gotta bear with me, okay? Because I haven't ate all day and I'm hungry. Hold up. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, man, why you just didn't eat before you start telling the story? You holding up the story. You know what? That's what's wrong with you cats. You cats ain't got no patience at all. You cat, don't y'all know that the best things come with patience? A lot of y'all dudes and some of you women, y'all ain't got no patience. Y'all always trying to rush something. Damn, I can't eat? Jeez. So anyway, hold up, y'all. And don't click off the video talking about, I can't. He always doing something, being distracted. I'm not distracted. I'm a human being. I need to eat too, damn it. But anyway, so he said he come to work for the next 5 days. They training him how to do pizza and all that. So after the training session, You know, they tell him, okay, we just gonna have you cleaning up the stove. You know, mopping, sweeping, wiping down windows, you know, all that type of jazz, right? So he's like, all right, I ain't tripping. So he said everything going good. So when he get back to the hood, one of the homies come to him and like, hey, we heard you working at Little Caesars. He like, yeah, I'm working there. Why? What's up? He like, what, y'all want some free pizzas? Laugh. He said, no, man, look, we gonna rob it. Let's rob it. And he was like, what you mean rob it? Man, this is my job. They like, man, oh, you think you too good? You think you too good now because you working at this little job? Man, no, man, you in there, so, you know, let us know the layout, man. We gonna rob it, right? He like, man, y'all tripping. They like, man, for real, Tony, you gonna do us like that, Tone? Tone, you gonna really do us like that, Tone? He like, do y'all like what, man? This is my job, man. All right, whatever. All right. So Tony Jones tell me over the next 2 weeks, the homies is just pressing them. Every day they on them. Man, come on, Tone. You act like a bee, man. Man, hey, man, let us know the layout, man. When they doing the drop, at least let us know. We won't even rob the store, man. We'll just wait till the manager leave out with the money and go to the bank, and then we'll get at her like that. Let's let us know, man. He like, no, man, y'all tripping, man. No, I'm not doing that, right? So he said one day, I guess the pressure just got too much. And he said, all right, look, y'all, every Thursday at 9 a.m., right? Because the store opened up at 11. But at 9 a.m., the manager comes in the store to open up the store. And she goes to get the bank deposit out of the drawer, whatever, or the safe. And then she leaves out and go to the bank. That's when y'all can hit her. So just be around 9 or whatever, right? So they said, all right, now keep in mind, y'all, today is Wednesday. So they about to do this plan the next day. So he said on Wednesday at work, you know, he worked with his manager and all this and that. And he said that his manager told him, like, hey, listen, I need to talk to you. So he like, what's up? And she said, well, it's all right. Don't tell nobody what I'm about to tell you. And he like, what's up? She was like, okay, I like you. And he was like, okay. Now he thinking she say she like him, like, you know, just I like you as an employee, but no, she was like, I like you. I like you, Tony. And he like, okay, I guess like she said, no, I like you. Now at this time, y'all, Tony about 17 years old and the manager about 31, 32-ish, right? So she was like, I hired you because I thought you was cute and, you know, I can't hide my feelings no more. I really like you. So he like, man, I don't really know what to say. So she like, you got a girlfriend or anything? He was like, no, I ain't got no girlfriend. She was like, you talking to anybody? He was like, yeah, I'm talking to a couple of chicks, but it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing serious. So she was like, oh, okay. She was like, do you think you will stop talking to them if me and you start talking? He's like, yeah, shoot, yeah. Now, Tony ain't really looked at the manager like that. I mean, he looked at her, but now that she told him that, now he really looking at her and she kind of cute, right? So he like, all right, well, let me get your number. And she was like, no. I want you to come to my house after the shift. And he like, what? She was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you my address. You just come to my house. He like, shoot, I bet, right? So she was like, now listen, don't tell nobody that we talking because we can't, you know, technically we can't date, but, you know, don't tell nobody, right? He said, man, I don't kiss and tell. I got you. So she's like, all right. So long story short, they get off in a couple hours and Tony ended up going to her house, right? He knocked on the door. She answered the door in lingerie. So he like, damn, baby, it's like that. Because keep in mind, y'all, he only seen her in her work clothes. And now that he see her outside of work and she in her lingerie, she had a yellow bra on, the yellow panties on with a nightgown. And he like, damn, it's like that. So they get in the house, right? And she was like, she led him to the living room. So she's sitting on the couch and he sit on the other couch. She's like, why is you sitting way over there? Come over here.
So he get up and he sit next to her. And she was like, you better not tell nobody. He was like, man, look, I ain't gonna tell nobody. I ain't no kid. Right? So she said, okay. Now, due to YouTube laws, regulations, and policies, Dante cannot tell y'all what happened, right? Because, you know, if y'all want to know what happened, go to one of them videos that be describing, you know, intimacy and details, right? But anyway, they do what they do. Bam. Right? He falls asleep on the couch. So she wakes him up around midnight and say, okay, you got to go. So he like, I bet. So he say he leave, he go home, he get in bed, he go to sleep. He said about 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. rolls around and his phone is blowing up. That's right. His phone is blowing all the way up, like back to back, back to back, back to back. So he finally answers the phone, right? And this his coworker said, hey, the manager got shot. The manager got shot. And this and that, right? So he like, what? Yeah, the manager, she got killed. She got killed. Right? So he's sitting there, and then it dawned on him. It's Thursday. I told the homies that she do the bank deposit at 9. They did it. So he's sitting there, he like, damn. Right? Hey, y'all, what I'm about to tell y'all next, just hold on, y'all. Give me about 5 seconds. I'm finna eat some more of this chili. Hold up. Just hold on, y'all, because it's finna get crazy. Hold up. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, what I'm about to tell y'all next, y'all gonna be like, man, hey, that's a cold place. Hold up. Man, this chili is fire, man. Hold up. Hold up. I got y'all. Hold up. Okay, so he say he called one of the guys that he know that was involved, right? No answer. Call another guy, no answer. So he get up and he go hit the hood, looking for cats that he know that had to be involved, right? He find one of the dudes, dude looking shook, looking scared. He like, bro, what happened? Hey, man, so-and-so killed the lady, man. He just shot her. And we running, and so-and-so got caught. He just got picked up. Now, I know y'all know what I'm about to tell y'all, right? I know y'all know what's about to happen now. So, he like, all right, look, dang, so who all was there? So, it was 5 guys. So, they was waiting down the street. So when she pulled up around 8:45, they was waiting already on her. So when she went in the store, they went in right after her, like pushed in on her. Man, open the safe, give us the money, right? So he said while they was in the store, you know, one of the guys ended up saying one of the guys' name, right? Hold on, y'all. Somebody called on my phone. Hold up. One of the guys ended up saying one of the guys' name, and they end up arguing, and they talking about, yo, we gotta ice this B because she know who I am now, but she really don't know him. But you know what I'm saying? But she got a name now. So her hearing this, I guess a fight comes in, and she pushed one of the guys to take off for her life. She run, she get halfway out the door, and she gets shot 3 times on her back, right? So they don't even grab the money, they just take off, they run, right? One of the guys get caught because somebody seen them bum rush the store earlier, right? When they pushed in on her. So
a civilian called the police, and they was already coming up, and just one guy got caught. Over the course of 2 days, everybody get picked up. I mean, everybody that went in that store. And guess what, y'all? He get picked up. The homie Tony Jones, get picked up. Now, I know y'all wondering, like, yo, why Tony get picked up? What I'm about to tell y'all next, this, I want y'all to really pay attention. But let me hear it. Let me take another bite of this chili. Hold up. And I know y'all gonna dog me out in the comment section, but I ain't tripping. Hold up. All right. So look, the actual shooter, he started ratting. They say the first one that bite the cheese is the one that get the deal. He told it all. He even told how Tony Jones was the one that gave them the blueprint and what time to do it. Right? Yeah. Tony didn't even want to be involved. But this dude, when the detectives told him, you better tell us everything and don't leave out nothing, he put it on Tony. Tony was the mastermind. Tony the one that was working there. Tony only got the job to let us know to do it, right? So everybody everybody copped out to 20 years plus. Everybody. The rat got 10 years for his part. But everybody else, they figured, nah, we ain't gonna take it to trial. We dude done ratted. So everybody copped out to 20 years, right? Except for Tony. Tony like, hey, I didn't do it. I ain't do it. They lying on me. He lying on me, right? So he took it to trial. He gambled. Now he got life without the possibility of parole. Now, here's the thing. Oh, and y'all, Tony got 5 more years because a law got passed in Michigan where if you got a life sentence when you was a juvenile, life without parole sentence, they'll reevaluate that and assess that now. So Tony will be out in 5 years, y'all. So Tony ended up blowing trial. And they gave Tony life without the possibility of parole. So now Tony is sitting in front of Dante in the MDOC prison system. And I'm like, damn, Tony. Hey. He like, yeah, bruh. Yeah, they snitched on me. And I didn't even do nothing. Listen, if there are any parents out there that got any youngins or what they call YNs, they call them young niggas or whatever, get all these young dudes together and have them listen to this video. All these dudes just running around in gangs and crews and say, yo, this my brother, and this my homie. All right, this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new. Look, check this out. If there's any dudes that's in cliques right now, and there's about 5 or 10 of y'all, look around. At least 6 of y'all is rats. At least 6 of y'all is a snitch. At least 6 of y'all, maybe I might even be giving y'all too much credit. Probably 8 of y'all out of 10 is gonna fold and tell. Now I know it sound good. It might even look good. I ain't gonna tell. I ain't no snitch. Right? It sound good. You might even look good saying it. But when you get in that interrogation room and you see that, oh, mama can't come get you, and they done cut the AC up they cut the AC up in the room, and they telling you, hey, your homie A, B, C, and D all said it was you. In fact, the detective is telling you things that only they could have told the detective. And you like, man, nah, man, this will really happen. Trying to save your own skin.
telling y'all right now, man, start doing right, man. Being tough and being hard ain't gonna get you nothing but a bullet or a one-way trip to the graveyard. And how a lot of you cats is living, I don't know if y'all believe in God or heaven and hell, but some of you cats ain't all that being tough is getting you straight sent to hell. Hey, life is way more than just violence and trying to be hard. I don't know where it ever came to be where people say, I want to be feared than love. Like when you go to school, you want dudes to think you hard. People think that, oh, he tough. Oh, he hard. He a shooter. He a killer. For what? For what? People don't want to really be around you. You know what I'm saying? That tough shit is played all the way out. But hey, who I'm talking, I don't know nothing. But I tell y'all something. I was just talking to the homie Tony, right? Me and Tony just got off the phone. And he said, man, hey, Dante, I was listening to your story, man, when you was telling the story about, you know, the young guy that came in there and a big dude came there and threw the knife down and told him to kill him. You remember that? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, that just happened. That just happened a week ago. This 17-year-old dude that came in with a triple murder just got turned all the way out. Ain't never fought a day in his life. But hey, y'all keep on playing and keep thinking these stories is cap. Oh, it's gonna get real once you catch that body that you be bragging about and then wondering how you get picked up. Oh, they snitched. No, you snitched on yourself. But it's gonna get real when you in that cell and that man that's 4 times bigger than you. Oh, you say you gonna get you a knife? That you gonna put in the work? You gonna get you a knife? This nigga been in so many knife fights. Matter of fact, it's foreplay to him. Stab him in his arm. He done been stabbed so many times. He know how to position his body to absorb the blow. You know what I'm talking about? See, y'all cats don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't really know about how getting it in for real. You pick up a knife if you want. That's why he gonna give you the knife and tell you to kill him. Y'all ain't never been confronted with that type of pressure before. A man give you a knife and say, kill me. And if you don't do it, I'm gonna take your manhood. What you gonna do? Yeah, y'all keep on playing. Anyway, do me a favor, y'all. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the like button, share the video, and type Flint, Michigan in the comment section or put 810 in there. With that, y'all, I'm out. What's up, y'all? This prison story is about when my homeboy Marvin ended up popping his daddy because his daddy was messing around with his baby mama. All right, y'all. So this story is located in Flint, Michigan. All right. Home of the Flintstone. Now, before we go on, I need for y'all to do me a favor. Y'all already know what time it is. Hit the like button and let me know where you from in the comment section. All right. So we in the laundry room. Now, in prison, you either can do your own laundry or you can pay somebody to do your laundry, or you can go to the laundry room and do your own laundry, which is every Wednesday between the hours of noon to, I believe, 5 p.m. Right? So me and my crew, we in the laundry room doing our laundry and whatnot. And my homeboy Marvin comes in. Now, I never asked Marvin what he actually did to get locked up. You know, I always assumed that Marvin, you know, had 2 bodies, right? But I never asked him and really got into detail about what happened. So one day, we in the laundry room. I'm like, hey, Marv. He like, what's up, D? I said, hey, I ain't really trying to get all of your business, but what happened? Who did you drop? He was like, what you mean? I said, you know, the 2 bodies. And he was like, oh, that's easy. I killed my pops. I said, huh? He said, yeah, I popped my pops and took out my baby mama. I said, oh. So I went to continue to fold in my laundry. And he was like, what, you don't want to hear the story? I said, I mean, I wasn't trying to pry, but I mean, yeah. He was like, so he said that when he met his baby mama, they met on a bus. And he said that I guess her car just broke down and she was literally going to the store or whatever. And she just had to get on the bus or whatever. That one go up the street and one go down the street. But he said that he was a bus ride, so he wasn't tripping. So he said when he seen it, he was like, man, this chick is gorgeous. So he said, man, forget it. So he just came up to her, was like, hey, my name Marvin, and I think you're cute. And she was like, oh, okay, well, you kind of handsome yourself. So he said from that day forth, they was inseparable. He said that he come to find out that she did have a car, but it was in the shop, and she was getting her car out in about 5 days, but she needed $400 or whatever. So he said he had that. So he said that like on the third day, he gave her the money. Everything was good. He said really ain't nothing, eventful really happened in the 2 years that they was together. He said they was inseparable. And he said they was going to build a life together. So then he ended up getting her pregnant and everything was good. Now, he said that through the 2 years, because he got her pregnant in the second year that they was together. Now, he said in the 2 years that they been together, his dad never met her. His dad never seen her at all or whatever. So he said that for Thanksgiving, the second year of Thanksgiving, Marvin usually have Thanksgiving at his mom's house, right? But he said this year he decided to go to his dad's house because, everybody on his dad's side was like, yo, we'll never see you. Won't you just spend Thanksgiving with us? So he said, all right, bet. So he told his girl, like, hey, look, man, let's go to my dad's house for Thanksgiving. So she was like, all right, cool. They ain't no problem. So they end up going to Pop's house. They get in there, and he said it was an awkward stare between the dad and this girl, right? And he looking at them like, y'all know each other? And the dad like, nah. And his baby mama like, no, I don't know him. Now here's the thing, y'all. They have a baby now. The baby may be like 3 months old at this time. Now, and I know a lot of y'all about to say, man, Dante, we done heard this story before, man. The dad gonna end up being the daddy. Like his dad gonna be the daddy. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, no, that is not the case at all. So anyway, they have that awkward look, awkward stare, whatever, and he decided, man, whatever, forget it, right? So the day progress on, family members showing up, everything is everything, right? So then, it just got really awkward. He said, he caught his baby mama and the daddy talking in the kitchen, and when he walked in, they got quiet, right? And he was like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, oh, nothing. We just talk about our future or whatever. He was like, oh, okay, all right, bet. Well, Pops, we about to get ready to go. So he was like, all right. So they gave each other a hug. Everybody said bye to them. So they left. So as they going home, right, and I forgot to tell y'all, they baby is with her mama. Okay, so it's them two riding together. So as they riding home, he like, hey, what's up with you and my pops, man? Do y'all know each other, like, for real? I ain't gonna get mad at you. Like, do y'all know each other? She was like, no, we don't know each other at all. He was like, you sure? It was like, yeah, I don't know your dad. I don't know him. So he like, all right, bet. So they go to the house and they chilling, right? But something just don't seem right. He just can't shake it. So he said, I'll be back. So she like, where you going? He was like, I'm finna just go for a walk. She was like, you want me to go with you? He said, no, I just need to clear my head, man. Let me just go for a walk. So he said he'd go for a walk. He called his dad. His dad answered the phone. What's up, son? He like, hey, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. He like, what's up? He like, hey, do you know my baby mama? Dad didn't say nothing. He was like, Pops, you there? He said, yeah, I'm here, son. He was like, do you know my baby mama? He was like, yeah, I know her. He was like, why did y'all lie? Why did you lie and say you didn't know? Like, where you know her from? He was like, man, son, just let it go, man. Just let it go. Just let it go. So he like, what you mean just let it go? Like, I got a kid about this girl. Do you know her or not? Like, what's up? What's going on? So the dad was like, Marvin, listen, just talk to her, man. I'll call you later. He hung up the phone. So Marvin was like, oh, heck no. So he called back, and his dad went answering the phone. So Marvin said he just pacing back and forth, and he like, man, what the heck is going on? Like, nah, man, something ain't right. So he said he go back to the crib, and he like, hey, you lied, man. You said you didn't know my pops. And he was like, she was like, what you mean I don't know your pops? He was like, look, stop lying to me, man. I just got off the phone with my pops, and he told me that y'all know each other, but he wouldn't tell me how. Did you F him? She was like, what? He said, no, did you F him? She was like, no, man, I don't know him, man. So Marvin like, so you gonna sit up there and tell me, so my pops is gonna lie? She was like, obviously he think I'm somebody that I'm not. So he was like, man, look, just tell me, man, what do you know? What, like, stop all the games, man. Do you know him or not? She was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know him. He was like, okay, so how do you know him? She was like, man, Marvin, just leave it alone, man. Just leave it alone, Marvin. He like, leave what alone, man? She was like, man, it was just the past. So he was like, you effed him, didn't you? You did, didn't you? She was like, Marvin, man, just leave it alone. He was like, yeah, I kind of, you know what? So you effed my dad. She was like, look, I had troubles a couple years back, way before we knew each other. And your dad, he used to take care of me. He said, wait a minute. Hold up. What you mean he used to take care of you? Because he been married for the last 20 years, and you ain't nothing but 20 years old. So and we've been together since you was 18, so hold up. So when did my dad start talking to you? She was like, Marvin, just leave it alone. He was like, no. When did my dad start talking to you? Like, when did y'all first start talking? She was like, Marvin, just leave it alone. He was like, nah, when did y'all? She said, okay, I was 15. He said, you was 15. She was like, yeah, I met your dad. He was 38. I was 15. And he was just helping me out. He was like, so you been effing my dad? So my dad is a pedo? Is that what you saying? She was like, I don't know. I guess why? I told you to leave it alone, Marvin. Leave it alone. So he said, you know what? Hold on. Is y'all still messing around? No, Marvin, no. When the last time y'all messed around? It was before you, Marvin. It was way before you. Man, this crazy. So he said, man, I got to get out this house. She's like, Marvin, I told you, this is why I didn't want to tell you, man. You're like, man, just I need to go clear my head, man. Marvin said, as he walking out the house, his dad is pulling up. And he said, when his dad got out the car, he said, hey, son, we need to talk. Marvin said, oh, what we need to talk about? How you F my baby mama? He was like, Marv. He like, no, I mean, what makes matters worse, man, you cheated on your wife, bro. You cheated on your wife. He like, what did she tell you? She told me you was messing with her. She was 15 years old, and you was basically buying her vagina or whatever. He was like, Marv, no, all right, look, Marv, you look. All right, look. Yeah, I did. I did. he was like, man, Dad, you sick, man. You a real sick dude, man. And he walked off. He was like, Marv, but I need to talk to you about something. Marv was like, man, what is it? What you got to tell me? What? So then she come outside, and Marv like, oh, so what's this? Like, what's going on? So his pops was like, listen, I was wrong for messing with you. He talking to the girl. I was wrong for messing with you when you was underage. Marv, I didn't know that y'all was gonna get together. I actually forgot about her or whatever. But I just want to apologize. What can I do? Marv was like, man, hey man, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing, Pops, man. I need to go. I'll be back, man. I need to clear my head. So he said he just got to walking off, right? He said he didn't even realize as he walking down the street that his pops didn't go past him. He didn't even realize that Pops and his baby mama is talking, right? He don't know the conversation. He just so throwed off that he like, man, I can't believe this happened. Like, this crazy. So he walking, and then it just dawned on him like, hold up, man, my pops didn't even leave. So he said that he jogged back to the house. He was maybe 3 minutes away. He jogged back to the house, and he said that his pop's car is still right there in the driveway. So he busts up in the house, and Pops and her is sitting next to each other on the couch, right? Now, he said that when he came in the house and he seen them sitting together, he said maybe his mind was playing tricks on him. He said that maybe he just was seeing red. Maybe he was just imagining them smiling or whatever the case is. But he said he snapped, right? And he said that he ran up to his dad and grabbed him, but his dad stood up and grabbed him, and they got to tussling, right? And he said his dad kind of slammed him on the table or whatever and held him down while he like, man, get off me, get off me, get off me. And he said his baby mama just sitting on the couch like, y'all stop, stop it. So he said his pops was like, all right, if I let you go, man, you better not hit me. I promise you, you better not hit me. You better not hit me. So he said after about 3 minutes of this, his pops finally let him go. He said he got up, right? So he said he was just sitting there on the table, and his pop sat back down on the couch like, son, I'm trying to tell you, man, this was old, man. This never did. I didn't meant for this to happen and be like this, son. Like, come on, son. So he said, all right. So Marvin said he went upstairs. Now, he said that at this point, everything was a blur. But according to the police and the detectives and the investigators, Marvin went upstairs. He grabbed his gun, came downstairs, and popped his dad, and then popped his baby mama. Marvin will go on to go to her mama house and go get the baby. And he went to Ohio to hide out or whatever, and the Ohio State troopers ended up pulling him over. They arrested him without incident. Her mama came and got the baby, and Marvin is now here in prison with us. So I said, dang, Marv. He said, right. I said, how much time did they give you for that? He said, man, bruh, they gave me 20 years for each body, bro. I got 40 years, but I'm eligible for parole in 30 years. I said, I said, hey, Marv, let me ask you a question, though. Do you think they were still messing around? He said, honestly, bro, no. I don't think they was, man. And the thing that's crazy is like I was out of my body when I did. I really don't remember what I did. I just remember me standing by the stairs, and I just blacked out. And I just remember going, pick my daughter up, and the police all behind us, and everything was a blur, man. I don't remember it. I said, man, that's crazy, Mar. He said, yeah, it is. Yeah. So I said, well, all right, Marv. Let me ask you all a question. This is the end of the story, but let me ask the audience a question right quick. How do y'all feel about this story? And what I mean by that is that, do y'all think Marv tripped? Like, he was tripping because his dad messed with her years ago before they even knew each other, right? Do y'all think it was a jealous rage, or do y'all think there's so many emotions going on through Marvin's head that made him, do that to his baby mama and do that to his pops? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Was Marvin wrong? Was he in the right? Was it a crime of passion? What? Because I really want to know, right? So with that, y'all be safe. This is Dante Prison Stories. And with that, y'all, I'm out. All right, y'all. This prison story right here is about when this white CO, and yes, it was a female, not a male, right? Because I know how y'all be thinking. But when this white female CO tried to get me in the 3-point stance in the cell. But before we go on with this story, I need for y'all to do me a favor, okay? It don't cost you nothing. It ain't gonna cost you no money. But I need for y'all to do me a favor. Number one, I need for y'all to hit that like button. And also, let me know where you from in the comment section, all right? Just put your area code in the comment section. Or you can put your city, your state, your village, or your town in there. Nevertheless, let me know where you're from. So, let's get to it. Now, I was sitting in the day room, and when they have walkthroughs, right, they have all these new COs come through, right, and it'll be like maybe about 10 or 11 of them. You would never know if any of these COs or these cadets will be in your prison or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, some of them might end up there. But there was this really, really old white female CO that came through with them. Now, when I first seen her, I thought, well, maybe she could be a part of the administration, or, one of them big wigs. But no, she had a regular cadet uniform on. So all I'm thinking to myself is like, man, wait a minute. How did she even get through the physical training? And, you know what I'm saying? Because I seen some of the videos when I got out the joint where you have to do a certain amount of push-ups, a certain amount of sit-ups. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to, you got to get real physical. And this lady had to been every bit of 60, 61, 62. Now, I'm not saying that all 61 and 62-year-old women is not in physical shape. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying for this woman particular, right? Nah, I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see her getting past the physical fitness training part. I just couldn't see it. But anyway, so she walking through, and she's looking at me, right? Now, I'm not saying I'm the finest thing in the world, but I'm far from ugly. But she just kept looking at me. She had this look in her eye that I seen before. In the free world where, a woman will be checking me out and she just had that look in her eye, right? So I peeped that. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. Now, I have my own preference of what type of woman that I like. I'm married, so I'm not really going to give y'all my preferences, right? Because my preference is my wife. But back in the day, in my prison time and a time before marriage, I really wasn't into white women. I have dated white women. You know what I'm saying? I done dated white women, but I never been in a real serious relationship with one at all. In fact, every situation that I done had of, dating a white woman, it always turned out bad. Now, y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all want me to tell y'all them stories at a later date and time. Just let me know in the comment section. Just put I guess, white girl in the comment section if y'all want me to, tell y'all them stories. But anyway, she looking at me and she got this look in her eye. And I'm like, okay, I see what it is. But I mean, I really wasn't impressed at all, right? So they leave out. So everybody go back to business as usual. Maybe about 2 weeks ago by, right? And I done forgot all about the incident. I'm not even thinking about this woman. I ain't thinking about them cadets. None of that, right? Now, I'm coming from the yard, right? And this is when second shift happened. So second shift happened when we on our first yard car. We're in of the first yard car. That's when second shift usually take place, right? So when I come in, I look at the bubble and see who's in there. And guess who's in there? She is in there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give her a name. This is not her real name, y'all, so don't be trying to go look her up and try to get her in no trouble. All right, we just gonna call her Tiff. Officer Tiff, right? So I see her in the control booth and I said, oh snap, that's Officer Tiff. That's the chick, right? And she looked right at me and she smiled at me. And I waved at her, she waved at me back. And I just kept it moving, right? Now, I just got done working out on the weight pile on the yard. I'm sweaty. I have to get in the shower. I have to wash up because don't nobody want nobody in a cell with them all funky. That's probably one of the first things to get your head knocked off clean is being funky in that cell, right? So I had to instantly go jump in the shower, right? So I go to the cell. I go get my towel, my washcloth, my dry off cloth. I get my shower shoes. I pull out that sword of justice because you never know who might try to get at you. In fact, the prison shower is one of the places, the most vulnerable places that you can ever be in prison, right? So, yeah, so I had to get that sword of justice. I had to get my soap, got my toothbrush and all that, right? So I head on to the shower, right? I get up in there. Now, usually y'all, and y'all just have to forgive me, but usually when I go to the shower, I keep my boxers on, right? I never, there's a debate out there, right? It's a stupid debate of should inmates have their drawers on while they showering or be in there in a nude, right? Me, I could never get with that. I could never get with just going straight to the shower with a whole bunch of men in there and I'm just in there in a nude. Nah, that's out. You know what I'm talking about? And I know some of y'all gonna say, well, if you so secure in your sexuality, it don't matter. No, it does matter because, yeah, I'm secure in what I'm doing, but I don't know what these other cats is thinking about. I don't want these dudes having wandering eyes looking at me. Ew, right? So, nevertheless, I hit the shower and nobody's in there. Now, I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and go full nude, right? So I go full nude and I get to washing up really fast, right? Really fast. And I end up getting soap in my eye, right? And when you think that you got all the soap off you or whatever, the shampoo, and when you go to open your eye when you thought it was over, then you get that little sting in your eye. That happened to me. So I open my eye. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm in full nude, right? So I'm like, dang, right? So I'm trying to hurry up and get the water off me because I hear the door open. So I know somebody coming in here, right? And I'm not about to get caught off guard in no shape, way, form, right? So I'm trying to hurry up. And then I hear, you need something? And I said, now it's a female voice that I'm hearing, but you in prison. And at this point, y'all, we had a gay guy named Peanut up in there. We had Gay Nelson in there. We had Gay Dewan up in there. These three black dudes, right? And automatically, I'm thinking it's one of them that just said that you need help with something. So I instantly, even though I had soap in my eye and trying to get it out, I instantly opened my eyes to peep to see, to make sure one of these freakos wasn't in here trying to get a sneak peek of the people's jewels, right? So I open my eyes and I see her. It's the CO Tiff. And she see me in all my glory, right? And I'm like, yeah, can you hear my towel right there? She handed it to me and I wiped my face. And she was like, oh, I was just coming here to check on you. That's all. I like what I see. I said, you like what you see? She was like, yeah. And she just walked off, right? So, and I already know how y'all is. Y'all go like, oh, Dante, this cat, man. Shut up. Y'all don't know what, y'all wasn't in there with me. I did many weeks, right, in lockdown. Many weeks in lockdown, okay? And just one of the things that happened, right? So I'm sitting there and I hurry up and dry off and I put my drawers on and put my pants on and I put my towel over my shoulder and I walk out, right? I was going to brush my teeth in there too, but I said, no, I'll just do it in the cell. So I walk out and she's standing there by the control booth, but she's not in the control booth. She's just looking, right? She's just smiling. So at this time, y'all, I've been locked down for I've been in lockup for maybe, I don't know, let's just say a lot of weeks. I don't know, many weeks. And, you know, this situation right here happened after the CO Sarah situation, right? So this maybe happened like 3 months after the CO Sarah situation. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, I ain't been with a woman in so long, and maybe I should, nah. But I mean, she didn't look as bad as CO Sarah, but she was dang near close to it. But, you know, I had to get up the nerve, you know what I'm saying, to execute that plan. So I'm like, nah. But then I got to thinking like, well, maybe I can see, can she get me some stuff in here? Maybe she can give me a cell phone. Because at that time, y'all, the cell phones was going for $1,500 to $2,000, right? So me being a convict that I am, or that I was, I should say, I said, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Cause I did fumble with Sarah. So I know what I'm gonna do. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So I said, okay, I'm gonna push up on her, you know, flirt with her a little bit. You know, if we get that opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, then that's what we're gonna do. But I'm gonna put that work in on her, right? I'm gonna put all work in, right? So that way I can have her mind, her body, and her soul, right? So then I said, then I'm gonna start asking her to bring me stuff in, you know what I'm talking about? Because I really needed them cell phones. Because, like I said, them cell phones was a hot commodity, a hot ticket, right? So anyway, I'm in the cell. Now, you cannot walk around. You'll get a ticket if you get caught walking around with your shirt off, right? And at this time, y'all, Dante was real chiseled. I was pushing a good 225. You know, I was chiseled. I had a little six-pack. You know, my arms was right. My biceps was right. You know, Dante was a cold sculpture. You know what I'm talking about? But, you know, nevertheless, you can't be out there walking around like that. Because number one, outside of it being an administration issue or whatever, you don't know who looking at you. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if dudes trying to get it, like I said, a sneak peek at you. You don't know if these cats is watching you, and you know what I'm saying? You just don't want to have that knowledge of knowing that there's another man that got his eyes on you and he thinking nasty thoughts. You know, so that's why I personally didn't do it, right? But administration rules, yeah, you can't walk around with your shirt off. But, you know, I was out there flirting with the CEO or whatever. So I would go out there a little bit. I go down there by the stairs and start doing like chin-ups, pull-ups on the staircase, right? And she the only one there. And I'm pretty sure she knew the rules, but I mean, I guess she liked me. She didn't say nothing. So eventually she came over there. She said, hey, you know, you can get written up for not having your shirt on. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she was like, you want me to write you up? I said, do you want to write me up? And she was like, well, what do you mean? I said, I'm just saying, do you want to write me up? And she was like, go to your cell, put your shirt on. So as I'm walking to the cell, she's right behind me. And she's acting like she's doing cell searches, right? Well, not cell. She's like peeking in the cells, act like she like doing her job, but she really wasn't, right? So when I got to my cell, like right when I got to my cell, she said, you got a cellmate? I said, nah. She was like, okay, I'm finna do a cell search. And she said that loud, like I'm about to do a cell search. Now keep in mind, y'all, in this prison setting, you cannot do single cell searches. You have to have at least 2 people, you know, in that unit. You have to have somebody in the bubble while you're doing the cell search, but more than likely that other guard need to be out walking around while the other one is in the cell, because you never know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, it could be a fight going on. It could be all type of crazy. It's prison, right? So anyway, she go in the cell and she like, you got a girlfriend? Now, in my head, I'm thinking like, you know, so I've been locked down for so many weeks. I'm thinking she trying to be funny when she said, do you got a girlfriend? Like I'm up here laid up with Peanut or Peaches or Nelson or Dewan or something. And I said, heck no, man, I'm not gay. She said, no, I'm saying, do you got a girlfriend like in the free world? And at this time, y'all know I didn't. I didn't at this time. I said, no. She said, do you get any visits, anything? I said, not really, man. I'm really kind of in here on my own, man. She was like, you ain't got no family or nothing? I said, yeah, I got family, but, you know, it's a saying, out of sight, out of mind. So that's really basically it. So she was like, oh, that's so sad. Well, I just want to give you a big hug, right? So, you know, she walked up to me and she gave me a hug, right? Now, when she gave me the hug, I hugged her back. Now, when you in prison, it's certain smells, right? Especially a smell from a woman. I think she had, what's that? I might be saying this wrong, y'all. Olive oil, whatever that thing is, whatever that shampoo called, I can't say it. I think it's called olive oil. It's A-L-O-H, A-L-O-H-V-H, something, whatever that is, right? It got like a dove on the, a dove as a logo or whatever. But I smelled that in her hair, and it smelled so good. Because keep in mind, man, in prison, it's just a stale smell and these funky smells. But now I got this woman hugging me, and I smell this smell, you know, this familiar smell that just smells so heavenly, right? So before I know it, now let me describe how we was giving each other a hug, right? It wasn't no church hug, right? She was like standing in front of me, and I came to hug her, but then I took my right hand and put it on the back of her head and was rubbing her hair, you know, smelling the hair. It was like I was an animal, right? So then I inhaled and I exhaled, and, you know, we backed off. And she was like, you know, I work third shift tonight, right? And I said, you do? She said, yeah. I said, you gonna come by? She was like, I'll think about it. And I said, all right, bet. So third shift come, right? It's 11 o'clock. It's just her, right? So she comes to my cell. It's probably about, let's say midnight. For the sake of time, let's just say it's midnight, right? So she come to my cell, right? And she was like, are you up? I said, yeah, I'm up. So she came in and she sat on the bed, right? I said, how you doing? She was like, I'm fine. Then I said, so we gonna get to it? And she was like, yeah. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button. Share the video. Until next time, I'm out. Now, I'm going to say, I can't exactly remember what day it was, but I know I was on my 4th day. I don't know, was it I believe it was a Saturday, or maybe it could have been a Sunday. I'm not 100% sure because it was so long ago. But anyway, so I get this cellmate, right? This new young black dude. Dude had to be about 19 years old, right? So they end up putting him in my cell. So he come in there and he, got all this stuff on the desk. And I'm just letting them know the house rules, like, make your bed up in the morning. We're going to keep this cell clean. Don't have no visitors in here. If you going to be talking to cats, talk to them outside the cell, because if something are missing, you going to be here responsible for that or whatnot, right? So we just chopping it up or whatever. And I noticed that he got these Air Force Ones and they black, right? So at this time in prison, you could have certain shoes. You know what I'm saying? And one of the items was Air Force Ones and Jordans and Timberland boots that was really sought after, right? People really paid top dollar for them shoes, right? Now, but the thing about having them type of shoes of like everything in prison, if you got it and people want it, they gonna try to get at it, right? And you better know how to fight, or you better, you know what I'm saying? You better be able to hold it and keep it, right? So me knowing that this dude first time doing time, I told him like, hey, you should let me hold them shoes. And he was like, hey man, I don't know what you trying to say. No. I'm not trying to run game on you. I'm not trying to punk you or nothing, but there's some nice shoes, and dudes gonna try to get at you for them shoes or whatever. So he was like, nah, man, I'm good. I got this. I'm a man. I can hold myself down. I said, all right, just saying. So I told him, look, every Thursday we get to go to the store. They come around Tuesday and Wednesday or whatever, and they give us this card thing, and you just fill it out, and you can only get 60 items off of the commissary or whatever. So I said, make sure you have that turned in by Thursday morning, or you're gonna have to wait till next week or whatever. So I'm just lacing them up, just giving him the game or whatever, right? So he said, all right, I'm finna go see what's up. So he puts on the shoes, the Air Force Ones, and he leave out, right? About 10 minutes go by, and I hear this dude named Tree. Now, Tree was this dude from Alabama, right? And Tree was like maybe 6'8", 6'9", right? Real tall dude, right? Dude had some weight on him too. He probably weighed maybe about, I don't know, maybe 230-ish, maybe 225. But he was really tall, right? And he played basketball. Now in prison, basketball is a pastime, man. There's dudes that's all they do, man. They work out, eat, and play basketball. That's it. And Tree was one of these type of guys, right? So I hear Tree, he's talking to him, and he like, man, bro, man, what's up? I guess they were from the same city or whatever. And they knew either they knew of each other or they knew each other. It wasn't all the way clear to me exactly their relationship, but they knew each other, right? So I hear Tree talking loud like, hey, man, yeah, bro, man, hey, you should get moved to my cell. You get moved to my cell, right? And Tree like, who you selling with, man? And he was like, this dude named Donta. He was like, oh, yeah, Donta, yeah, that's my dude, man. He cool. He real cool, but, man, you should try to get in my cell. So they go now, I don't care. I'd rather have no cellmate, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't get no type of alone time, no type of privacy at all in prison. But when you got to cell by yourself, too, that's gravy, right? So I'm not objected to that. I don't care. Let them go. Right? So they go to the control booth and they talk to the guard to do a cell swap. And the guard like, nah, nah, this ain't Burger King. Y'all just can't have y'all wait. Is it a problem in the cell? Is it an issue? He like, no, man, this is my homeboy. And, we just trying to sell up together. So he like, the girl like, nah, that's out. That ain't happening. So they like, all right, whatever. So they come to my cell, right? So I knew Tree, but he wasn't my friend. He wasn't even an associate. I just knew him in passing, We didn't have no problems. We didn't have no issues, right? So, but still, he can't just come in my cell, right? I don't care if this dude know you or whatever, but it's just respect, right? So Tree, he knows the prison rules, so he stopped right there to say, he like, hey, what's up, Dante? I said, what's up, Tree? He like, not much. Then he like, hey man, Lavelle, you hey, what size shoes is them that you got right there? And he was like, oh man, these are size 9. He like, them are size 9? He like, yeah. He was like, oh man, I wear size 11. He said, oh, you do? He said, yeah. He like, hey, man, hey, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, bro, but you think I could wear them? I want to go play basketball right quick. And them boys is nice. Now, when he said that, the first thing I thought was that, hold up, you wear a size 11. This dude that's told you that these are size 9. Why would you, okay, whatever. But hey, it ain't my business. So he was like, let me think about it. I'll think about it, right? And then Tree was like, all right, I'm going to be back in a minute. So when Tree walked off, I said, hey, he said he wears size 11, man. Why? He said, yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I said, okay, I'll make sure I wasn't tripping. So he was like, hey, Dante, let me ask you a question, man. Do you know Tree? Like, know him? I said, I only known him for about 8 or 9 months, but I guess he cool or whatever. I said, why? He said, well, I did know of him in the streets, like we here from the same city or whatever, but the way that he been approaching me and talking to me is like we just been long lost buddies or whatever. Like, how is he up in here? And I said, I don't know. I ain't never really paid it. He just played basketball. That's really it. I don't really see him getting into it with people, and I don't know. If you asking for me to vouch for him, no, I don't vouch for nobody. But at the same time, I don't really know him like that. Like I said, he just played basketball or whatever. He was like, hey, you think I should let him, wear my shoes? I said, what? He said, yeah, he asked me, could he wear the shoes? And he actually asked me before we came in the cell, but I thought he was playing, but now he asked again. So I said, them your shoes. I can't tell you what to do. So literally when I said I can't tell you what to do, when D.O. left my mouth, Tree pops right back up. He like, hey, bro, hey, Lavelle, let me get the shoes. Let me get the shoes right quick. Let me, I'll bring it right back. So Lavelle looking at me like, and I'm looking at him like, what? So he just take the shoes off and hand them to him. So Tree like, I bet. And he walks off. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, you got any more shoes? He said, yeah, I got some more shoes in here, man. I got some Reeboks in here. I said, all right. And then I just walked out the cell, right? About 20 minutes to go by, right? And I'm out on the yard. I'm waiting my turn to get on the iron pile, right? And I see Tree over there hooping. And when I say he hooping, Tree is over there hooping. And he got these shoes on. And the way, have y'all ever seen like somebody that was wearing too small shoes and the shoes look fat? You know what I mean? Like the shoes look big and fat and swole. I don't know how he squeezed his feet in them shoes. I don't understand how he was playing. in them shoes, but Tree was like really out there doing this thing in them shoes, right? And he was busting them out. And all I'm thinking is, man, his dude gotta have his feet balled up in them shoes. He got to, man. He got to, man. So about 3 minutes later, here come Lavelle. Lavelle walked up to me and he like, hey Dante, you got anybody gonna spot you? I said, yeah, I got a couple cats that spot me. He was like, hey, but I need to talk to you right quick, man. I said, what's up? He said, hey, you when you think I should get my shoes back? I said, get them back, I guess, after the game or whatever. I don't know. He was like, yeah, man, I don't think I should have gave him the shoes because he dogging my shoes out, bro. I said, all right, well, you got to take care of that, man. I don't know. So I see this guy walk past. I didn't know who this dude was. He walked past and he's eating a bag of hot Cheetos. And he like, hey, bro, I got you. I got you tomorrow. I got you tomorrow on stove day. Right? So I said, hey, what was that about? And he was like, oh, this dude walked up to me and asked, he seen me unpacking my commissary. He asking me get a bag of chips or whatever. And I gave it to him. He said he gonna get me tomorrow. I said, hey, look, let me give you some words of wisdom right quick. Don't get nobody else nothing, man. Don't. He like, why? He said he's gonna hook me up tomorrow. I said, do you know that guy? He was like, no, he just, I thought I was gonna be nice about it. I said, hold up. Let me tell you something. It ain't nothing. You can't be nice in here. You end up being nice in here will get you killed. Being nice in here will get you put in a predicament where you don't want to be put in. It'll get you in situations that, hey, next time somebody asks you for something, the answer is no, right? So he was like, oh, all right, man, all right. So he just walks off. I'm like, man, I don't think this gonna work out. This dude being, because listen, y'all, already laced this dude up. Already told him, and lacing the dude up is just dropping penitentiary knowledge to him, letting him know the do's and the don'ts. And obviously, it ain't clicking in his head, right? So I'm telling myself, like, nah, this ain't gonna work, man, because dude just giving things away. Dude is real gullible. He done gave Tree, let him use his shoes, and he just dogging him out, right? So I end up going back in the building and I lay down, right? So I wake up because I hear conversation outside the cell, right? And there's 3 guys right there and they talking to Lavelle. And I'm hearing the conversation. And they done walked off, and I come to understand that he done gave these cats 4 packs of ramen noodles. And they telling him, yo, we're gonna give you 2 packs tomorrow. It's stove day, right? Let's just fast forward. Let's just fast forward, right? It's store day. He's sitting there. Dudes just walking past the cell. Some cats coming to the cell to give me what's old. But everybody that he gave something to, they ain't coming. They ain't giving him nothing at all, right? So I said, hey, ain't nobody gave you your stuff. He's like, oh no, some people came to me and said they got me next week. And I went for another guy, but he said he gonna holler at me later or whatever. I said, hey, look, man, them dudes ain't gonna pay you, man. They not gonna pay you. And he was like, well, what you mean they gonna pay me? I said, listen, they was running game on you. He was like, what? Why? I said, because you remember when I told you stop giving people stuff for free, stop being friendly? Yeah. I said, well, that's just happened. That's what they do. And don't be surprised they're going to keep coming asking for stuff until you do something about it. I said, I said, hold on right quick. So I went to my locker and I grabbed these socks, this pair of socks, right? and I put 2 batteries in it, right? Them big D batteries. I said, here. He said, what's this for? I said, whoever owe you something, right now, go out there and go bust their head open with this sock. He was like, no, man, I ain't about to do that, man. I ain't about to do that. I only got 2 years, man. No, I can. What if I take their life? I said, it don't matter, man. Either you take this take this sock with these batteries in it and go bust somebody's head to let people know that, hey, if you owe me, pay me, or this was going to happen. He was like, man, Donta, you tripping, bro. You tripping. I said, all right, you going to see, right? So here come Tree walking past, right? And he got the shoes, like, he walking in these shoes, and you could tell he done busted these things. The stitching coming apart, the shoes just look beat, right? So Lavelle like, hey, Tree, what's up, bro? And Tree like, what's up, man? He was like, hey, you didn't get my shoes back? He was like, oh, wait, I thought you said I could hoop in them, right? He was like, yeah, I said you could hoop. He said, yeah, so what's the issue? So Lavelle like, what you mean what's the issue? Tree was like, I asked you, can I hoop in these shoes? And you said, yeah, I'm not done hooping. So Lavelle's sitting there, and he like, I don't get it, Tree. Like, can I get the shoes back? He said, no, you can't get the shoes back. You told me I can have these shoes to hoop in them. So what? So when he said that, Lavelle was like, no, I didn't say that. So he was like, oh, so you called me a liar then? You said I'm a liar? And then he just walked off. So then he turned around to me and was like, hey, Donta, that's some bull. I said, hey, man, I don't want to hear it, man. Here's the sock. Go handle your business. He like, man, bruh, man, he think I'm soft, man. He think I'm soft. I said, here's the sock. Go handle your business. So he was like, man, I ain't trying to get no more time. I said, well, I ain't trying to hear it. I said, you know what, matter of fact, nah, you're going to have to go, homeboy. You're going to have to go. He was like, what you mean I'm going to have to go? I said, because you soft, man. You soft and you hard-headed. You got to go, man. He like, man, Donta, man, what's the problem? I said, first of all, you need to lower your voice, because you ain't finna buck on me when you should have been bucking on Tree and these other cats in here that owe you something, right? So he was like, man, this is just stupid, man. Why won't he give me my shoes back? I said, listen, what you got going on is beyond me. It ain't my business. You gotta go. You gotta get out of here, right? So next thing you know, he leaves out the cell, right? And I noticed that the sock isn't there. So I'm like, wait, I guess he finna go out there, go handle his business, right? So I look out the cell, and he's talking to one of the guys that owe him, right? So next thing you know, I see him pull out the sock, and the dude was like, what you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? And, Lavelle was like, man, hey, I don't want to use it, but man, you need to get my stuff. And dude just punched him right in the mouth, punched Lavelle right in the mouth, and Lavelle dropped the sock with the batteries in it and took off running back to the cell, and I blocked him. I said, no, you ain't coming in here, man. He said, no, man, move, watch out, man, watch out. I said, no, you ain't coming in here, and I pushed him real hard, pushed him really hard, and he fell on the ground. And I said, no, you is not coming in the cell. Matter of fact, I got you. So I started getting all this stuff, and I rolled it up on his bed, and I threw it right out there on the tier. And I said, you got to go, right? So he ended up going to the control booth and telling the guard what happened. The guard come up there, hey, Donta, what's going on? I said, man, he can't be in here, man. He doing too much, man. He finna cause a lot of drama and a lot of issues. Y'all know I don't give y'all no problems. I don't give y'all no issues at all. But this dude finna cause a major issue up in this cell, man. So they like, all right, look, we'll move him, but don't touch him. I said, I ain't touch him. So he's sitting there in the day room, and dudes just walking past him, laughing, saying crazy stuff to him and stuff like that. So now they end up putting him in the cell 3 doors down from me, which is Tree cell, right? Now, I don't know why they put him in there. I don't know if him and Tree had another conversation in between me throwing the stuff out. I don't know. I don't know if Tree came up to him and said, hey, man, listen, I got you. We from the same city. My bad on the shoot. I don't know what Tree said to this dude to convince him to get in the cell with him, right? But he ended up getting in the cell with him. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I never known for Tree to be a homosexual. I never known for Tree to indulge in them type of activities. I can only go off of what I heard the following night, right? Later on that night. Now, here I go. I'm laying down. It's what? About 2-something in the morning. How I know it's 2-something in the morning? Because around 2 o'clock, the guard that be on shift, they leave out and go take a smoke break, and they leave out the dormitory. So this is how I know it's around 2 o'clock. Now, what I heard next, I'm not going to go into detail, but all I heard was somebody said, man, shut up, man, shut up. Then I heard whimpering, and then I heard something that no man, no straight man should ever hear coming from another man. And we gonna leave it at that. Y'all stay out of prison.
Give me a call at 1-313-452-8981 if you want me to promote your online business or products or social media channels. Also, if you are watching this video and you didn't get my notification, unsubscribe to the channel, subscribe back to the channel, and hit the all notification button. I drop a new video Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, are you a member of the Donta Show Network? If not, I'm going to have the link pinned at the top of the comment section. Also, when you become a member of the Donta Show Network, I got exclusive videos teaching you on how to become a big, successful YouTuber such as myself. Again, the link to the memberships will be pinned at the top of the comment section. By the way, if you want to send a gift to support the Donta Show Network, send me a text message or give me a call at 1-313-452-8981.